Alright, here we are. Hey everyone, this is Kobold Kingmaker, episode 22 so far now. I will note I completely forgot to put the last episode up on YouTube. It should be coming up like an hour ago, I think. But I'll try to remember to put this one up like I usually do on Monday. Either way though, all the maps you see today, as always, are my own creations. You can find them on my Patreon. And yeah. How should we start? With a little bit of recap, I think. Who wants to do it?
I volunteer.
Go for it.
So we had just been patched ourselves up after a wyvern encounter. A really weird wyvern that seemed more primal than usual. And we continued eastward to a clearing by the river, saw some distressed elk, and Parent had encouraged us to head up the river toward the northwest, but the rest of us were concerned about a potentially more immediate threat. We headed east, found tracks, and found the Embeth hunters. They were tracking something that they called a Kruth, I believe. They were usually a lot more cunning than this was behaving. They said they had it well in hand, and we warned them that we believed that there were Fae at work here. So we followed Parent's suggestion and headed up the river. We found another creature den. No, that wasn't quite yet. No, we headed east. We headed east across that river toward another creature den where there were wargs and a frost wolf who called himself Glazilin, who had information about the primal creatures that infested this land. He would only tell us his information if we agreed not to interfere with his hunt against Pitaxians. But we decided as a group not to allow this, and we went our separate ways. Finally, we went west across the river, and up the other river where Parent wanted us to visit in the first place. We saw a lot of unusual rotting plant life. We thought maybe the river was bad, but the truth was more frightening. It was a strange rotting flytrap hydra creature. After a really brutal fight, Giraffe and I nearly died, but we pulled ourselves together. We figured out that these plants were transplanted from the first world, but there's also a weird element of abyssal taint that there normally wouldn't be in that kind of situation. We checked up on the other groups after that. We found the Hydra, but unfortunately, it was feasting on the bodies of the two Aldori duelists, the twin sisters. We avenged their deaths and swore we would mourn them. We also saw a corpse of an elk in there split open with the same kind of flowers that we had seen growing in corpses before. Everybody else had appeared to survive, so we brought back the bodies of the sisters onto the barge and headed back to the lodge. In the morning, though, our troubles weren't over. We met at the banquet table, and we were announced the winners of the competition for just how many dangerous things we slew. But as the chest was being opened, the serving man's chest burst open, and a basilisk crawled out. We were able to slay it without any further casualties, but it's clear that we need to investigate where this problem is coming from, and that brings us to today.
That it does. As Jamel Visser and the other Embeth travelers mourn the death of Timol, the servant, who was less of a servant, more of a quartermaster actually for their whole troop. He had seemingly come to the hunting lodge earlier than anybody else, and somehow caught whatever this is that causes people to erupt into these, well, bouquets of flowers, and from them, some sorts of beasts.
Quartermaster. Yikes. Don't tell him I said that.
With that being said, I believe there was some discussion last time from Jamel about what you need to do at this point, as this is a threat on your kingdom. Jamel mentioned that the Embeth travelers would make sure that at least the beasts are thinned, but it is up to you guys to figure out how this is occurring in the first place and to stop it at its source. And this is where an explanation of the investigation system should come into play. The investigation system is sort of a one of the many sort of GMing systems that is provided to us as, Pathfinder GMs. And essentially it means that over time, because it's not just a single check to figure all of this stuff out. You find research sites, you try to discover more details, and you try to use each of your own skills and maybe aid each other in your own skills to figure out as quickly as possible, perhaps, as is important here, what you need to do, where this goes, before this reaches too far into your own kingdom and causes, well, death and destruction in that case. And Jamel had at least recommended there are two sort of places that you can conduct some investigation. First, of course, is the corpse of Timol, from whence this basilisk had come. There was also the hunting grounds outside, where you, did all of this hunting. As far as that is said, though, not sure where else you could go, at least before you hear about something worse happening. It remains to be seen. So, what are you guys planning on doing as the time starts ticking?
Well, Parents definitely wants to start by doing as thorough an investigation on this body as possible. Just fresh. So this is probably our best chance to get the most information from them.
Okay.
Gaz will similarly also do an autopsy on this body.
If that's a medicine check, can I do medicine-based aids?
You could, but remember, this is over the course of a day. You don't have to all be doing the same thing. It's probably a good idea, actually, to split up. So the hunting grounds, where you could use more of your nature and survival knowledge, could become a good spot for you.
So I could scout out how prevalent these kinds of corpses are, as well as, if they're more frequent in an area, maybe that's where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of sort of knowledge of your survival checks you could use in handy, so...
So there's 2 avenues and 5 of us. Is it mostly going to be aid checks, aside from the primary...
No, there's no
Leaders?
primary checks.
Gotcha.
Everyone can make their own check during this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if Parent and Gaz are doing medicine checks, they can do them here. And with Giraffe heading out on his own towards the hunting grounds, you can roll a survival or nature check out there.
I was planning to do Arcana to try to magically examine this person instead of medicine, personally.
Yeah, go for it. These rolls can be public, because you sort of have a sense of how successful your endeavors are over the course of the day.
Do you mind revealing my role then? Because I'm really
Oh.
curious.
I will be
Oh,
a
no.
hero point my rule.
Absolutely can, but remember there's going to be a lot of these checks, so the value of your hero point may not be too high.
Oh well, still something.
I also like to look into what he might know about the religious nature of demonic energies, or about this corpse in particular that he might be able to glean.
You would have a better chance looking at the sort of taint, the abyssal taint even, that you had discovered out towards the waterfall.
Gotcha. So it's not like a universal case. You're mostly probably going out with Giraffe to check that out in particular, at least.
It's sort of a thing where there are different opportunities to use your different skills in different ways. Some places better than others for certain skills. Now that leaves Kiba. What do you think you're doing?
It sure does. Most of my abilities and strengths rely on getting information out of people.
Well,
However,
there are roads nearby. There are many travelers along them. You could see if rumors are spreading about this. People have certainly probably encountered this at some point.
I do like that idea. I would like to see if I can get information out of people. Try to strike up friendly conversations. Gather what I can.
All right.
Heck, I'll even perform for them a little bit if I need to.
Heading out into the road there. Roll me a diplomacy check, and Yarmos, you can roll me your sort of religious knowledge sort of
Gotcha.
planar stuff. Some pretty good rolls
I
there.
like that.
In fact, with this, I can tell you guys, Parenth gets a very good roll. They critically succeed, sort of making up for Giraffe. You're not having the greatest time sort of searching these things down. It's different to search for these creatures. They don't follow the same hunting patterns. They seem to just want to kill and eat and not be as...
It's just unnatural.
Yeah, not be as natural, essentially. So, for the purpose of it, each day, you guys either succeed or fail in some of your skill checks, and that accrues some points on my end. And once you get to a threshold, which after this day you have, you get a little bit more information, sort of collecting all your knowledge, coming back to the lodge after the day's work here. You all can confirm that there have been more individuals bursting into masses of colors, whether those be travelers around this area on the road, or mostly animals and other creatures. It seems like it's located in this area, but it could spread. The monsters that jump out of them, as you've sort of been expecting, don't seem to be driven to violence out of an instinctual need to eat, but instead from a deeper, more sinister urge to cause pain and suffering. And specifically, Kiba, with your sort of trying to gather rumors here, you hear initial rumors that some sort of cult must be responsible for spreading this affliction through the region.
We'll definitely have to take care of that cult. We can figure out more information about it somehow.
And something I get to do at the end of every day is roll a check.
Oh boy. Kingdom events.
Or something of a sort. Even though we're not doing kingdom management anymore, there are still, of course, penalties and other things that could be happening to your kingdom. So, keep that in mind as you're under a time pressure here. And since this is over a couple of days, or rather every research round is over the course of a day for this, a new day arises, and you guys get the sense that you're not finished with the investigation of these two places here, both the autopsy and the hunting grounds. Though your opportunities may be exhausted at some point. So if everyone wants to, they can roll the same checks, or we can shake it up, whatever you want.
I'll stick with the same check for now.
Same here.
Ditto.
Parenth is gonna head out to the where the plant hydra thing was and try to examine the ritual there. Do you want an arcana for that or an occultism?
That would be Arcana, yeah.
I'm going to try to gather information about strange sightings of unfamiliar people or strange activity of people. And I think things that might potentially provide hints toward cult-like behavior or leads in that regard.
Okay. With that, Giraffe, you're having a better opportunity sort of tracking down these beasts, and there are minor ones that seem to erupt from maybe rabbits or something that you're able to slay on your own and have a look at, sort of gathering more information and knowledge about the transformation and all of that. Gaz, you get a lot of information out of your autopsy. In fact, yours is a critical success. Yarmos, your role is also a critical success, understanding more about the planar sort of aspect of all of this strange connection where it's mostly fey, but there's also a bit of an abyssal taint, as if there's some confluence of those two planes that's causing this. Parenth, you as well sort of are backing up this on Yarmos' end, but with your more applied conjuration specific understanding of magic. And Kiba, unfortunately you're not able to tell as much in terms of your endeavors. But because we got a critical success and very good rolls on everybody else, you guys are actually zooming forward here. That being said, you all arrive back at the hunting lodge later in the day after accruing a bit more knowledge, and you're able to tell that the source of the affliction has to be some sort of curse associated with conjuration magic. This is what Parenth and Yarmus can sort of come together on. And in fact, you guys can expound upon that, saying the victims don't transform into these monsters. It is more like their bodies are transformed into some sort of strange portal through which the creature is created. It seems that any living creature may be subject to this curse. You've never seen anything that's immune to it, but the method of its spread is still unknown right now. You have some good information, though, despite, Kiba's failure there. You get a little bit of information about the rumors that you sort of follow up on. Those rumors are widespread, and the cult is said to be based somewhere in the wilderness, and it's trying to return the stolen lands to the rule of monsters, is what people are saying.
Sounds like more of that green-haired woman's work, I'd wager.
Should probably split our attention on our two parts. Half of us investigating the curse, and the other half trying to track down this cult.
I can work on tracking it down.
Well, if this thing seems to have originated near here, surely the cult must be near here, right?
One would hope
Hopefully.
so.
That way we can take care of them quickly.
Well, they do have plein air magic. Who knows where they could be popping up, disappearing into thin air.
That's right. It could be anywhere at this point.
Another day goes by, another roll I make, and with that being said, there's a little bit more, Gaz, that you can learn with your autopsy here, but you're close to exhausting this sort of opportunity before you. The hunting grounds still have a couple of things that you guys can look at, though. So, what are your attempts today?
Well, given that it's a curse, Gaz would try to, maybe enlist our little witch friend's help and suck her up to her, perhaps.
Who?
She left. She's gone.
Oh, did she?
Nothing to do
Building.
with this.
Who? Who specifically?
I forgot her name, the Fey
Eldane.
witch.
You mean the old Beldame?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind.
she's pretty far away, isn't she?
You would have to take the time to travel to her.
That seems like a track worth taking.
Alright. So,
If anything has knowledge on curses, it's probably her.
are you all going? Or are you going to try to finish up your investigations of the hunting grounds? Or even the autopsy here?
I wonder if there's anything more I could help with the hunting grounds.
Certainly, you could even use your perception.
Earth isn't done here yet.
Ah,
Okay.
there is Yarmus.
Go ahead and make rolls that you think are appropriate.
If we had a spell or something that could let us communicate with her from a distance, it might be economical, but I think
I
at
wanna-
this point,
Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. Seeing as the origins are magic in nature, Gas seems very out of place here with his mostly worldly knowledge. That's why I thought that starting the track might be prudent.
Well, if you want to head up there, we can meet you there later.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I'll be heading off in that case.
Alright,
I
Gaz heads off.
Suppose I'll try to see if I can spot any oddities that we might have missed in the hunting grounds. Might
Sure.
might bring us some more insights and leads, if nothing else.
Alright. So, Giraffe, what were you saying?
I want to see if I can track down where a group like this would be, a cultist group. Like signs of people moving around, things going in and out. Could that be survival?
Following the cult smell.
I would say that would be something you would have to travel into the wilderness for. You can, but you would be in a dangerous spot without your allies if something were to beset upon you.
I won't then.
You can always use the same check as you've done before in the hunting grounds. There's still more opportunities there. You could still use
Yeah,
survival.
I'll do that. See if there's places where they're more frequent, maybe as a hint of where they could be.
Well, hey, you certainly get some information there. So, again, with very high rolls from Yarmos and Giraffe, even with Gaz heading off towards the Old Beldame, the rest of you can pick up a little bit more information. In fact, I can give you just a little bit more here. Where is it? It is at this point that you've essentially exhausted these research sites. You've done your autopsy on Timol, and you've had a look at the hunting grounds, looked at everything you can there, and you can tell that those who suffer the curse show no signs of symptoms until near the end, when crippling pain ripples through the entire body. The type of creature that emerges from a victim's body is unpredictable. It may be possible to save someone from the curse if the affliction can be detected before it runs its course, but doing so is difficult given the widespread nature of the curse. You would have to have magical experts at everyone's home all the time to sort of detect this, and you don't have many of them in your kingdom. And while a wide range of people are supposedly joining this cult, as you guys collect a few more rumors, most of them suggest that the original cultists were goblins.
Are there any goblin encampments around the area that we know of?
Roll a society check.
Public for this though?
Recall knowledge, private. Or blind.
Could I give one of those as well?
Sure.
There we go.
Neither of you are familiar with goblin settlements in the area. There may be some,
Yeah.
but...
If that's the case,
Sorry, Yamos?
if that's the case, you almost would like to take a stab at it too.
Sure. Likewise, you're not sure.
High DC or low rolls.
Either or. You guys aren't really sure. And the unfortunate part of all this as well is that you're out of sites for research. And unless you learn about a new, perhaps public outburst, in cases of one of these creatures, well, you have nowhere else to investigate. At least at the moment. Days will still go by, and these rolls will still keep coming to determine, well, how fast things are progressing. But at this point, what are you guys deciding to do? Gaz has already almost made his way towards the Old Beldames, but what about the rest of you?
We should find some couriers to go to other nearby settlements. Maybe they're experiencing something like this too.
Are we not able to like try and make a map of all the occurrences of this to try and triangulate a position?
You're only aware, or at least you've only confirmed of occurrences of this in this region that you're in right now.
Gotcha.
You haven't been anywhere else to see those occurrences, because right now all you've explored is just the hunting grounds where you have scary dinos too, and the hunting lodge. There are regions
So
you
no,
haven't
like-
explored.
So no like tales from afar about this happening elsewhere, or any that we can confirm.
None that you can confirm, no. There's,
That-
of course, rumors of, hey, Jim Bob, who's out in the boonies, he's sick or something, but to triangulate based on rumors would be very difficult.
That Drake we saw before, did that seem to Parent like a normal Drake, or did something seem off about it?
It seemed decently normal, if I remember your skill checks on it.
Oh, yes, it was hunting things to eat things,
Mhm.
so that kind of goes against what we were hearing about the other monsters. We should probably go get Gaz, stop at Scaleport, and send out the messengers to Varnold, I think it was called, and maybe back up to Brevoy.
What about the lizard folk?
Should we warn them about this as well?
I'm not so sure about that. If
They're on an island, aren't they?
yes, they're on an island. How was it an island?
Yeah.
Regardless, they're probably not being targeted. However, they might have information about goblins.
Well, you remember lizard folk are over here to the east on the shore of Silverstep, and, well, the old Beldame and Gaz are over here.
We should get Gaz, go back to town, send the messages, and then we can check on that other fact.
All right.
I'd rather not be separated. You know how Gaz can get. He's probably blowing up several things by now.
Let's get Gaz.
Alright, taking the boat and arriving not near the end of the day, about 5 o'clock. You could make it back to Scaleport for the end of it. You guys arrive at the old Beldames. I have to break out an old map here. Where is it?
And it takes Gas like a day to investigate with the old Dame. That's what he's doing alone.
Yeah. Gaz has plenty of time to sort of be ahead of you guys in terms of that, which make this better. So, oh, your old tokens are here. I need to add new ones. There we go.
Two parents.
Temporal anomaly. Quite normal for only parent, it seems.
I casted mirror image too many times. Now it's real.
Oh, whoops. Who am I missing?
Kiba.
Kiba.
Iba?
There we go. So, you guys arrive.
Remember the
before.
knock at the fence.
Well, I imagine Gaz is already in here.
Alright.
But you're right. It wasn't like a bell or something.
Yeah, there was a bell attached to it. You guys ring it, you head in, as the old beldame calls. Your friend is already here. Come on inside.
Oh, thank goodness he hasn't blown up your house or something yet.
I've stopped building explosives. Too dangerous.
Oh, thank goodness.
Wow, too dangerous for you?
Well, they haven't been proven effective enough. I'm trying to branch out to something more to our causes.
I will tell you all what I had told him. Spent the day looking into, well, some of the divination that I can do. And, well, it is most certainly, as with many things in these lands, a curse. But this curse seems different. It seems as though it propagates physically, by some means. From what you've told me, you don't know exactly how, but you must think, how could this spread? What would be the manner of its spread?
Food.
Well, it seems to be placed on plants, does it not? So maybe it carries in the air.
Pollen?
We found those strange flowers every single time, no? Or plants?
Well, wouldn't I still being alive kind of disprove that, though?
We have no idea how long it takes for that actually to happen, do we not? For all we know, we
Perhaps,
are all
like,
infected with it.
Remember as well, Timo burst into flowers. He didn't have flowers on him, but he burst with them.
wait, so it's been several days. Do the flowers like wilt away, or
They do. Just like the plants that you found at the waterfall, they can't live here. This is not a place, not the realm, not the plane for those plants to live in, so they do wilt.
gotcha? So they're like otherwise mundane? Question mark.
Extraplanar, but yes, otherwise mundane, seemingly.
Well, that's my idea so far, anyways.
Is there any strange food, perhaps, that is being spread throughout the area, and something uncommon?
I would
Well,
imagine that they would actually target a more common food to, spread it to as many people as possible.
Oh, it was affecting animals, wasn't it?
Where did you say that this plant life was most active? It was at a waterfall.
Oh no.
If it spreads through water, then that is a lot of trouble.
We did say that we thought that the water might have been bad around there. I hadn't considered that angle, however.
Well, if it does, the Gudrun River comes straight to Tuskwater, and the vast majority of your people eat fish. You could have a serious outbreak on your hands if it has not already arrived. I will be boiling my water from now on.
say, have you heard of any goblins around here at all? Any towns or anything like that?
I've not heard of goblins, which at least means they are not close to me. Otherwise, I may have heard about them.
I think we should go. Do you think boiling water would actually do anything?
I am no medical expert.
Perhaps it would be prudent to not risk things and go grab water from a safer river.
It's gonna hit the whole lake.
It's hopefully not gonna spread upstream somehow.
It's gonna affect the food as well.
Whatever fish are eaten could possibly pass it on. There may be no way to prevent it. You'll just have to hope you can stop it before the danger is, well, too effective on you people.
Did it seem like that ritual circle and the water there was the source of it, or was the water like from up the waterfall also bad when we were there investigating?
What you remember is that the plant life was all rotting and falling into the water.
Okay.
Does that mean that this won't stop until that area is cleaned up?
You said it was a ritual. Do you not think they could conduct this ritual elsewhere, whoever these people are?
Of course they could.
Perhaps they already have elsewhere.
So we should either find a way to detect it or find these cultists before they cause more issues.
We should perhaps also take measures in our town. Start importing water, as ridiculous as it sounds.
Is it the water or is it the fish at this point?
Both, I'd imagine.
It's going to be quite difficult to feed the town if we outlaw fish temporarily.
Whatever you decide, I've given you all I can. Your activities are becoming quickly out of my purview, even.
Your help is of course just as always been very useful, Miss Beldame, and we are appreciative of your assistance.
Taking
Please
your
take very good care of
hospitality as well.
yourself.
I will. I know how to. I can remove curses, if you do not recall. But that is not an invitation to ask your people to come here. Nor will I go with you to help. I'm an old woman. I just want to be left alone.
I understand.
Now be on your way. You have your kingdom to save.
Me frantically looking through my spells for scrying spells.
Right?
Me specifically not picking up a scrying gadget, thinking it was not gonna be helpful.
Do alchemical items on his hand as well.
Well, it's about into the evening hours, but from her place to Scaleport with your boat is very easy, so I imagine you guys would, by nightfall, get back to your hall.
Yes.
And as you're getting back into Scaleport, the people are a little bit more scared, and you notice the streets are a little bit more empty. There's still people going about their business. There's, usually, we all lived through COVID. There's some people who are like, oh yeah, whatever, and there's some people who batten themselves down immediately when they hear about stuff like this. And it's half and half in your place here. But still, you do, as you arrive at the Kingdom Hall, have, overhear, rather, an argument as you're coming into the front doors. We should be rounding up everyone and keeping them, or at least those who are showing signs of sickness, inside. You hear Tristian sort of mutter, that is, we cannot round people up under suspicions like that. That is violating their freedoms. And you hear Jod sort of interject, we need to pray to the gods. We need to seek out Aristil's guidance on this. This is obviously some sort of... there they are, finally. You know what is happening, right?
We are intimately aware.
Painfully aware, so.
Have there been any incidents in the city yet?
Thankfully, there have not been, Keston replies. We are keeping an eye out for it, and I've doubled the watch, making sure, with double shifts, our guards are out there, making sure that nothing attacks people, or at least, will surprise us. Not this time, not after the beast. What ideas do you have? Are these rumors true?
We've mostly been able to find out that the water of the Gudrun River is to blame for this. So fish from there, as obviously people grabbing drinking water from there, are very much at risk.
There is an area, a waterfall and some hunting grounds near the lodge to the east. It could probably stand to be cleaned up.
And who do you suggest goes out there and does that? Should we stay here, worrying for the people? I need to preach safety to them, and Tristian sort of interjects. And they need some hope as well.
That they do.
We have to stay here. You shouldn't.
If it's a matter of detecting curses, then surely this would help us filter out the people we actually need to help.
Detecting curses is one thing. It is another to cure it. if that is truly what it is, by what means do people carry this curse?
Seems to be. Please elaborate. What do you mean by carry this curse?
Well, it would be easy to detect this if it was simply just some magical aura that befell someone. It was just some sort of ambient magic, but Jod interjects again. But we have swept the town with our detection abilities, with preparing our spells to detect disease and curse and all of it. We have not found it at all. There must be something else, perhaps carrying it on the insides of people. But we don't know what.
We believe that it was getting into the water, and these strange fey/abyssal flowers and strange plants getting into the water supply. I don't know if it's the water itself carrying them or things that live in the water.
We know not if the plants are a cause or a symptom. They could very much simply be bursting through the portal that forms upon a person's expiry.
Whatever it is, we're out of our league. Of course, we can't go digging around in people's insides.
Parent is going to call for Jubilas to come out here. Or try to locate him at least.
What? Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm taking this seriously. What is it? How can I help with this? It's not really a monetary issue.
No, but you've got your eye on what comes into this town. Has there been any new traders, any new goods coming into town out of the ordinary?
Suspicious imports, perhaps.
Well, as far as I can tell, no. There have not been any new comers to the town. Much thanks to these rumors spreading. Nobody wants to come near the town. It's been quite the issue for our trade, really.
In the short term, it should be fine. Good even, to prevent it from spreading in or out. I think we should also watch carefully for the beasts, for they seemed quite susceptible to whatever this disease is.
And perhaps have skill points patrols serve as an eye for keeping track of the goblin populace.
We don't really
Yes,
have much of a goblin populace here at all.
Well, a cult of them might be part of the issue. Do we have anybody we can send out to scout, maybe in the Sellen Hills?
Perhaps
That'd be your
somebody
job.
who's good at removing kneecaps.
Would that not be your purview? What else would you be doing during this time?
This is what we were doing. Just because, however, this alleged cult may have started with goblins, it's not necessarily limited to goblins.
Maybe what we should be looking for are other waterfalls in the area. If that was the origin point, a fast-flowing stream.
Northeast. Heading up toward Restov. There's waterfalls at basically the river flowing down from Brevoy is there's two waterfalls that make ferry travel difficult.
The
Not
Crooked
necessarily
Falls,
huge.
Shrike's Cascade, I think.
Mm-hmm. That is not the only place, and you're not sure if it matters as waterfalls.
Right.
So in that case, then we should probably just go explore the hills, see if what we can find down there.
The advantage to that waterfall in the hunting grounds, I believe, is that it would feed into the Tuskwater Lake without being on the well-traveled trade routes.
Well, some of the least traveled lands in the kingdom are currently the Sellen Hills, the lands that you have not explored just as yet.
Indeed.
You make a good point, but I think we should send messages to other nearby towns as well to let them be aware of what's going on. See if they've had any other similar issues.
I'll have the scribes write it up. It's been a very busy day dealing with some of these merchants being very angry about the issues going on here. Trade being plummeting at this point. He sort of like mutters and mumbles to himself as he steps off. The rest of the group there, Tristian, Jodkavkin, and Keston Gress, they all sort of nod, Keston saying, "We'll keep things on watch here just as we did last time. But you are the most powerful among us, and you know more than we do about these magical affairs. We wish you well." But of course, I'm sure you want to rest as well. Has been a long day.
It'll be hard to
Setting out
rest.
come tomorrow.
If we don't rest, then our own abilities will suffer. We have to take care of ourselves.
So, as you guys take the rest for the night, some of you with fitful dreams, sort of worries about this whole thing, about people erupting before your very eyes into these monsters, may grace some of your eyes. But eventually, you all get up in the morning on the next day, hoping nothing else has occurred, nothing has struck your settlement. And without the expected sort of summons or courier coming to your doors, you expect nothing substantial has happened. But it's only a matter of time. And time, well, you gotta use it carefully. What do you guys do from here?
Do we wish
At
to go?
least we-
Go ahead.
Well, even if, well, at the very least, adventuring is what's most comfortable for us. If that's a solution, traveling down to the Sellen Hills, then I say go. We should go for it.
It makes sense to look near the site of the issue, does it not?
You're not sure if you have any other options. If you just sit around here,
Well,
You
we're
could
definitely not
wait.
doing that.
you could wait. There is the option that comes across some of your minds. You could wait and see if there is something that happens to one of your citizens that would give you more to research, a body to autopsy, looking, more specifically, perhaps a more intact body, sort of after, well, T-Mole wasn't really intact. That's an option. A grisly one.
Not one that I'm ready to take quite yet.
Doesn't seem like this curse exactly leaves the bodies intact.
It seems a violent explosion from the inside, or at least a violent summons of a creature from the inside, and thus, if you guys have seen The Boys or whatever, yeah, some superhero, or like Ant-Man or something, the Ant-Man strategy, that's kind of what happens. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like, it seems like there could be differences. You could probably get a better autopsy.
How long does it take for our Kobold scouts to get to Tartuk's place?
They are all the way at Hargulka's stronghold. Or, well, now Tartuk's stronghold. It would take them 2 days. Then 2 days return.
Well, we obviously want to try to operate faster than that. there's always the possibility that if we cannot get any information, perhaps in 4 days' time, Tartuk might know something about activity in the area that could be affecting our people.
If he can spare the time from his rebuilding.
And if what he says can be trusted.
Good point.
I'd rather not go that option. We'll be able to find it ourselves.
We need to go to Sellen Hills and look further. I need to develop a long-range communication spell at some point, probably.
Oh, that would be very interesting.
That sounds useful.
I can maybe whip something up. I'd have to invent something first, most likely though.
That being said,
Let's take the boat back to the lodge and see what we can find in the hills, I suppose.
alright. Taking the boat back, up the Gudrun. So checking in with the Amethyst travelers there, Jamil Visser can definitely assert that there are more of these beasts. And they all seem to be, like, around the area. They don't seem to be particularly in any spot that they can tell. It's just all over, at least in this region as you're getting further away from Scaleport. So, that being said, you have 2 more activities during the day because your water travel is easy. So you could go into a hex and reconnoiter it before the end of the day.
Maybe we can find some trace of this cult or something. Give us something else to follow.
I will say, for better or for worse, seeing more of those out here now definitely tells me that you were probably right in guiding me away from Tartuk.
Alright. Who usually reconnoiters?
I can do it. So can Yarmos, I believe, but
According to our brand new party sheet, Giraffe is the best at perception in our group.
There we go.
By
Yeah.
far.
there we go. This is definitely like a nat 20 for a total of 34.
Nice, congratulations.
I'm just gonna believe that. That's what I'm gonna think.
As you guys arrive here, you're on now the Little Sellen River, as it passes through a gully here. And you find that there is an oblong island, thick with vegetation, about pretty narrow, like 10 feet wide, but 75 feet long. And it's sort of in this gully where the water rushes through, so you're looking at this island from about 40 feet up above it. And, well, it's the only notable thing around here as you guys checked around, because on that island, despite there being no obvious sign of threats, there are bones and other things strewn about it.
Could be another nest of those creatures. We should clear it out if we have the chance. You said this is 40 feet down from where we are?
Yes.
Wouldn't want to fall there. Do you see that over there?
Many bones strewn about it.
Blood and bones.
Interesting.
Investigating it is risky because we have no way of getting back up. Not even me with my jump can make that.
Guys, I have rope.
There's still a rivet we'll have to cross at the bottom.
It's narrow, just step.
Just
I could get
swim
down very
across.
quickly, but getting up would be a lot slower.
I'll just lift you up by rope, Kiba.
Indeed.
Can parents take a closer look down at this place, try to see if there's any creatures or anything on the strip of land?
Roll me your perception. Anybody else actually searching as their exploration also roll perception.
That's
I should start doing the searching because I have really good perception.
Yeah.
I think we all have good perception, except
I think I'm doing
14.
who would like to scout?
I think everyone's searching right now, so
Yeah.
Yeah, roll yours as well. And, well, something you are able to tell, Parent, since you've encountered something like this before, the plants of the island look like they're moving just very slightly, like a snake in the grass. Some places of it. Not like these bushes or ferns, but stuff underneath those in the more dense cover. In quite a few spots, actually. I'm even going to allow, because of a very good success here against low-level creatures, you identify that there are a lot of these fly traps milling about on the island, sort of waiting for their next victim.
Glad I didn't jump.
Before Kiba jumps, may I have about 10 minutes of your time? I can make sure you'll be a lot more comfy and have a little buffer, so to speak.
Do you happen to have a fireball prepared, Parent?
Fireball, of course.
Don't think you'll be able to grill all of it in one swoop, though.
Can certainly
Yeah,
try.
But yeah, if Gaz is allowed to, he will take 10 minutes and apply a little something to keep his armor.
I can't help but wonder if these plants have something to do with the infection.
Ooh, I like that.
Trying to pull a fireball out.
Well, fireball it is.
Okay, place the burst. Remember, it has to be on a corner, not on a line. So there.
Sorry.
No problem. Let's roll some of this. Because as this fireball operates in your hands and you sling it out towards them, well, they are none the wiser, being these plant creatures. And, that shouldn't have been blind, but either way, that's 3 critical failures. 1 regular failure. And, yeah, I think with that, many of them just erupt into balls of flames, completely obliterated by that. In fact, that is 3 of them. Oops. They don't have their skulls on them, because we're not in combat.
I like that.
3 of them are obliterated by this fireball. But then you realize, as they're slowly trying to lurch their way away from the island, they don't go into the water. They have no way to reach you.
Well, no, now it's just like we're punching down. Anyone? You know, I knew I should have like grabbed a bow or something. Not the best of them, but it's better than nothing.
Well, I can chuck my reserve oil at them.
I could just shoot more magic at them.
I might be able to hit them with some magic as well.
I got across the hand crossbow.
They're right about at the edge of my reach, however.
For the purpose of it, since they can't reach you guys, and you saw them before you went down there, they will, under a hail of arrows or fire bolts or whatever, they will, yes. They will all perish.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to recognize them by their icons, but are these like the same ones as from the waterfall?
Yeah, I mentioned it. You guys had seen them before.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We had,
Yep.
the big one had a little one with them, and there was 6 of those little ones. here.
Yeah.
We should still at least check out down there, just in case.
Sure.
Apparently seems relevant to exactly what we were doing.
Yeah, so we can look at these creatures more too. Maybe figure out more about them.
Yes. How fast is the water current?
Current
Not exactly, but
is
like,
pretty, it's pretty swift going through this sort of narrow channel here.
I miss now.
Well, the hardest part would be getting back over the water. I mean, it's not probably that hard.
You probably just make an athletics check to climb
Yeah,
down.
and I'm really good at that.
Mm.
I could I could get down very easily and just simply jump onto the island. It's not that far for me.
Go ahead and do it.
It'll
do
take
it.
41.23 feet of rope to
Let's see.
make a triangular, sort of a diagonal rope from the edge of the cliff here to the edge of the island. So we have more than enough if we want to try tilting a bit.
Were there
Or whatnot.
checks for that kind of a leap? Let's see.
Just make an athletics check.
Okay. Also, I do have a powerful leap, so my distance is increased by 5. So that should be really good. Hand icon.
And as you make a running
Effortless.
leap, because of long jump, the dice you roll is the amount of feet that you go. You go 33 feet, and that will be plenty to land you on the island. And since you are this heritage that you are, you sort of flutter down gracefully with those hollow bones.
Kind of, sort of strike a little pose as I do so, because I have to show off a little bit.
And it gives you some time to look around as the rest of your allies sort of point things out from above, shouting up and shouting down. You find the remains of whoever was a victim of these plants.
Ooh. Well, I'll make sure to gather. I'm assuming all those coins are in like a big pouch or something.
Yeah, you never have to worry about that.
It's a lot of.
It's not like you're picking up everything. You never have to worry about it. If it's
Yeah.
if it's in a loot pile, you can take it.
Yeah, I just saw the sheer quantity of it and got a good laugh. There's, in case anybody isn't able to see that right now, there's like 680 coins or so in there. It's wild.
That's a lot.
I mean, most of them are silver and copper, but that's why I'm laughing.
Let's find a tattered book.
A book, very interesting. It's ritual based. I'll have to bring that back. I'll bring everything back, of course.
Yeah, throw it in the party stash. And just gather up everything here.
Ooh, we passed 7:30.
Mm-hmm. You're pretty certain that this is not one of those ritual places. Not one of those places where the source of this has occurred, but you have to wonder where those plant creatures came from.
Well, looking at the map, it looks like... I'm assuming the water's flowing east to west, correct?
Yes, it would be flowing from the Tors of Levni. Is this the little Sellen River?
Since only Keba is down there, would only Keba be able to sort of try to investigate that, where that might be coming from?
I can certainly try.
If you want to, sure. Just roll me a nature check.
Thus the certainly try. Never know, might strike gold.
At the very least, Kiba, those creatures aren't exactly natural. They come about from, like, you know, tainting the land or sort of like morphing plants to your will. They're sort of summoned, sort of created. Not necessarily just, like, natural. So maybe? But you can't really hazard a guess of where they came from. So, you climb your way back up to the allies here, and suffice to say, not much else there. Give yourself 60 experience points.
For bullying.
For punching down.
Sometimes it's just like that.
Fireballing them?
I mean, Hydros were the same thing, apart from the fact that it tore one party member to shreds.
Shall we investigate this river further, or check the rest of the hills?
the moment you guys are
Ask that
resting.
again, please.
Our plan for tomorrow: should we head east along the river and check the source, or continue?
Definitely the source first. We could always round back around to see the rest of the
I
hills
agree.
later.
I agree.
Okay. You had this idea that there may be a goblin settlement around here. You doubt they would be up in, like, the mountains. But if you're going for the source instead, yeah.
In retrospect, though, if there's monsters here already, that means they've already done whatever ritual they might have done there.
Oh, that may be true.
Either
So
way.
start at the furthest left one of these hexes then? Make your way
Make
east?
our way around, yeah. Everybody agrees with that.
That's now my vote.
Alright, so, you guys take a rest. Who is on watch? And who is doing a stealth
I
check
can
for the
take a
camp?
watch.
I'll do a stealth check.
I can do the other watch.
So I need to make a perception check for the night.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm more so asking to make sure I roll the right dice. Not that I
Also,
don't
still
know.
using boar repellent.
I get to roll twice.
Man, those boars really terrified us. We'll never forget.
Alright. Nothing comes along in the hills here. You find a little delve for Yarmos to expertly hide your camp here. And through the night, nothing occurs. You have to wonder what
Technically
might be
speaking-
happening back in town.
Technically speaking, I'm trainedly hiding the camp.
So, your strategy today, I believe, was heading down here. Go ahead and
Yep.
reconnoiter your giraffe.
Already. With my perception bonus, there's no way I can fail this.
You're gonna roll a 1 because you're just so cocky.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying it.
As
We're
you
on Twitch. We gotta be presentable to the kids.
It's mostly an adult audience, really, but
Yeah.
either way, as you get into these hills, the Sellen Hills are a little bit more wild scrublands of hills that are sort of like not these rolling fields of plain hills, not like moorlands, more like craggy and untamed, perhaps, as they are sort of the borderlands between your area here, the Stolen Lands, and, well, Mivon, the sort of Aldori expats, so to say. The Aldori refugees that went to make a kingdom in Mivon. That being said, you don't find anything in these hills here. As a couple hours pass. Next on the list,
Let's keep going east. Because you mentioned there's probably not map edge. There's
map
not
edge
usually
is
anything.
never really going to be a thing.
Okay.
So, just to save you guys time, because it literally never is. As you get here, though, roll your keen order, Giraffe.
Already.
Well, Giraffe, getting to the best vantage points, going up any sort of lone tree on a hill here, you have a clear day before you, and all the circumstances that allow you to see, even from miles away, what seems to be smoke rising from a flat-topped hill, and what seems to be some sort of village on that hill top.
Do we have any record of a village on our map?
Not one of yours, and no record of there being civilization here.
I think we may have found something. An unmarked village. How big are cults normally? I don't think I've ever met one.
I imagine it varies.
I assume we should approach this place with stealth then. Just in case it is the cult.
Alright. So as you guys get a little bit closer to it, I'm going to move you guys over to a new scene, but you're not as close as your tokens are. Of course, you can be up a nearby hill to have a look at the place from afar.
I'm going to change myself to be the scout.
Okay. And placing down tokens.
Once again, if we take 10 minutes, I can apply extra health to one of our people.
I'm up for that.
Give it to Kiba.
Alrighty, Kiba will get extra health.
So as you guys arrive at a nearby hill to this place, before there's a little bit of a smooth valley, not really a valley, more of a delve between two hills, you are able to tell that that flat-topped hill has palisades stretching around it, but they're not as sturdy, at least as the map makes them look. They're really these like intertwined twigs and branches and maybe a log here or there to try to snap it all together. It's not that great of a palisade. It's more like a fence that could be easily broken through.
Oh, if only one of us had a weapon, or at least that resembled an axe.
And it does, at the very least, have enough foliage sort of like stuffed into it that it hides the interior of the town as you get closer here. And it is the tallest hill for miles around, so it's going to be a hard time to see over the top.
We can only assume they have people on watch. And we don't know if they're friendly.
Indeed.
What are you thinking, Kiba?
We don't know that they're not friendly yet.
You have this sort of well-tread path going around the hill, sort of like looping up as the hill sort of ascends a little bit on that path to reach the top of this flat top. And you are able to tell at the very least that there are seemingly some sorts of like main watchtowers at the end of this path that you're seeing there. Otherwise, looking around the sides of it and making sure to, you don't really see that there is anything else in terms of an entry point, at least at first glance.
So, do we walk up, knock on the door, or?
I'm game.
It's the polite thing to do. How about a couple of us go to the more charismatic ones go to the front door, while the others have a look around the outside? Or is that
That's
a bad
excellent.
idea?
That's excellent.
I don't think my face is a very friendly looking one. At least that's what I've gathered, because of how a lot of people have reacted.
As it turns out, Kiba is the only one with a friendly face amongst us.
You guys should check out the outskirts more while we go up and do this.
Yep, move your tokens as you will. I'll get to whoever I get to when you guys are there.
I was really hesitant to say something like that because I'm really bad as a DM when it comes to party splitting.
I like how everybody is going to the front gate except for you.
Giraffe? Giraffe realizes, like, sort of, like, stops and turns around and rushes back to the group as he realizes he's alone. So, as you guys are going up towards the front gate, you are met by what seems to be goblins. Two goblins, one of them sort of, like, hanging down off this sort of, like, spindly watchtower here. You can't imagine how this thing is even being held up. As they sort of, like, hang down from it, some of the branches bend, the whole tower almost even bends very slightly. And as they're hanging off of it like it's a jungle gym, they sort of look down and over towards you all.
Hey, them some longshanks. We ain't got some of them in a while. What do you think they want?
Do any of you speak Goblin? I think the party sheet will tell us.
Somebody does.
I do.
You do.
Why did I pick this?
Well, goblins aren't completely uncommon in the world.
I think I assumed that there would be goblins here, but it just took a while for there to be any goblins.
Hey, then you have it. And now you can hear exactly what they're saying as they're speaking Goblin.
No, we fought goblins once before. Or were those gremlins? Like in that cave under the tree.
Gremlins, not goblins.
Gremlins.
Gremlins are fake creatures. Goblins are not.
Yeah.
I picture this in character.
Sorry.
I said I picture this in character. Giraffe confusing goblins and
Oh right.
Gremlins.
gremlins.
That's very accurate.
These guys at least look green compared to the gremlins blue. And Yarmos, as you're sort of translating to your allies, it is always assumed, don't worry about it, you'll always be
Okay.
translating to your allies. So, as they sort of speak amongst themselves, one of them shouts out in this sort of broken common,
Hey, Biggins. What are you doing here?
Kiba, would you like to?
Yes,
That's your cue.
I'm trying. Stop interrupting. Don't push me.
Pressure, but lots of pressure.
No, hello there. We're simply a band of wanderers, explorers, you might say. I suppose you charting out the lands.
You got anybody who doesn't speak in flowers?
Yarmo is.
Oh, none of us
Uh,
speak with flowers, actually.
I can't understand your language.
sorry, that's
Yarmo
spot on.
translates Kiba verbatim, puffing up his chest like a gown of feathers that he does. So,
You understand. You talk right. You talk like us. You know our language.
I know very
these-
many words in very many tongues.
Very many words, very many lip-smacking words. Good. Understand now. You hear, you look. But why?
Yarmo's is gonna play interpreter
Okay.
and keep this dialogue flowing with him as the
Sure, yeah.
conduit.
That works. Kiva.
That's wonderful. Why? Well, simply because there's been some danger around the area. We're attempting to keep it safe. Perhaps there's something we can help with.
You want to help us? What we need help for? You don't need to help us. Nobody does help for free.
But roll a diplomacy check, Kiva.
Let's try again. There we go. Love it. Rerolling.
Okay.
Take that. Nice.
I bet they're here to steal our pickles. Are you here to steal pickles?
What? Ew. No.
No, of course
I hate-
not.
I hate
Are they for
pickles.
sale?
What? What did that dog say? He say he ate pickles?
No.
Oh, okay. Your accents are weird. You're not speaking in easy tongue.
Are we talking like real pickles or theoretical pickles?
Real pickles. Where's your mind at? Is it in the mud? Yeah.
Is the whole point of this town to get pickles?
Some of us would say that. It's not the whole point, though. We worship the Mash too, as well.
Oh,
What do I know about that?
Religion.
That's interesting.
I'm rolling, by the way.
Me as well.
I do as well.
The DM said one name. Everybody, quick, roll!
I actually chose Lamashtu as Giraffe's favorite deity.
Well,
That
then,
doesn't surprise me.
yeah.
That's the
Giraffe,
evil
you know.
null deity, though.
Giraffe is evil. Don't you know this yet?
Gaz has no knowledge on religion, and so he will leave it to everyone else to deal with.
The
So,
giraffe is like officially not a holo at all. It's just like the stock first edition null.
There it is. It's copy pasting what it says in Lamashtu, or Giraffe's Lamashtu deity sort of line there. As Giraffe knows, you know this. You know that Lamashtu is the mother of monsters. She is basically a guide for the downtrodden, people who have deformities and other things, ostracized individuals, all of that. And her intervention is about corruptions and pulling out the inner sort of monster in people. It is definitely an inner or evil deity.
You really had me up till then, yeah. No, that sounds good. That sounds good. Oh,
You
Well,
guys
that's
like
quite
Lamash
convenient.
too?
Oh, I'm a big fan of Lamash too.
Now he
I've
says
followed
something
Lamash
that
too
works.
for years.
Then tell us, what is the Mashtu's favorite weapon?
I don't have that on my info sheet. Would Giraffe know that?
He would, yes. He would know that Lamashtu's favorite weapon is the falchion.
The falchion. What is a falchion?
It's sort of like a large bladed sword, like a curved-ish sword, kind of like what the goblins have in their hands.
Ooh,
like a man blade, but not an axe.
I gotta get me one of those.
Ah, we have a follower of Lamastu. Good. Then you'll be welcome. Are you the leader of the rest of your group?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
He is indeed.
Then we will invite you. Perhaps, just perhaps though, you might be able to sample some of our famous pickles.
Parent looks skeptical.
We would be
Yeah, I was-
happy to.
Jarmus looks in concern over at Gaz and what he might be scheming at this point.
Giraffe, we would be happy to.
You
Of
hear,
course, we'd be happy to. He kind of grits his
Mhm.
teeth in a fake smile as he does that.
you hear that.
I was born in Lamashan.
You hear one of the goblins sort of like shout to the other.
Hey, get the gate down. It's so annoying to get this thing down. Why don't we can attach to it through like a hinge or something? No, just throw it down. That's easier.
They throw it down on the ground.
Who needs a door?
Now we just pick it back up when we want to put it back up. We don't need a hinge.
But can't people just push it over them?
Well, what if there's goblins on the other side? Then they push back. Enter,
Just gonna
freely.
mentally note that.
Well, leader, would you like to go first?
yes.
As this pretty lax security just lets you guys in and doesn't really follow you, they get back to sort of like using the watchtowers as like a jungle gym or whatever. You see, well, a whole village of goblins here. Perhaps what would be a good several dozen goblins going about doing their business, sort of shouting in their shrill language to each other. You see a couple of buildings, some of stone, some of wood. You see a tent city where it seems like most of the goblins make their homes there. You see a graveyard to your left with a sort of skittish-looking goblin sort of hiding behind a rock looking at the graveyard.
Fair.
And you also see sort of the main thing here. A couple of posts that have skins and hides of different creatures spread on them as if trophies on this 5-foot-high stone platform. And on it, wreathed in what seems to be these strange, otherworldly-looking plants, is a representation, a statue of Lamashtu, Giraffe can tell you. And a few buildings beyond.
How new does this place seem? Does it seem like it's been here for quite a while?
Roll me a society check. Parent, your best guess, because of the stone buildings and maybe some of the like impressions of the stone buildings on the ground, they've been here a while. They've been here for years, maybe even a decade.
You guys have been here for quite a while, haven't you?
Who are you saying that to?
Any goblin. Well, I guess Jarmos to translate.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? We've been here a while. Why you say that?
Just looks like your stuff has been here a long time. That's interesting.
But it's also very interesting because the stolen lands is
What are you saying? You speak weird word, even in our language. Intwisting. Why not just say cool?
Okay, it's cool. Are you happy?
Yes.
the place very cool because
Cool.
it's hard to have a place like this in the stolen lands.
But the Master guides us. The Master protects. We not be afraid of monsters. We fight monsters sometimes. We see skins. See?
Sort of points at the pillars.
May we take a closer look at those skins?
No.
Oh,
Nobody is permitted on platform. That is for shaman. Shamans say so.
all right. Can you tell us, about the skins surrounding the statue? Is that important? I'm not nearly as familiar with, the worship of Lamashtu as our boss.
Okay, your friend translate better. Good goddess. Protector of Goblin. Yes. And we hunt monsters to show the master we powerful. But we also respect monsters because we give them back to the master as gift. That's why skin there. At least I think. Did you listen to speech from Shaman?
Sort of looks at the other goblin.
I couldn't hear it from the back.
Can we speak with your shaman? Say hello?
He might not want to speak to you. He not like Longshanks.
Oh, what are longshanks?
Well, some of you are Longshanks, but kobolds aren't Longshanks. Dragon semi-Longshank. You two big Longshanks. Because you carry Longshanks.
Oh. That is cool.
He's a Lamashtu Longshank, though.
The Master Longshanks? Oh,
Longshank.
where you from?
Far off places to the north.
North. Is that way? No, it's over there.
Like, these goblins don't seem to have much else important.
Draft, weren't you gonna try the pickles?
We'll get to that.
So, heading over in this direction, you find a couple of goblins sort of arguing with each other at this camp here.
What are you talking about? All those beasts are here because the Master gave us them. They're not going to hurt us. Well, I saw them out there getting more berries for gardens. Maybe they're normally. Maybe there's just more. No. There's a big thing happening. The Master is gracing these lands. They're helping us. We are blessed.
Sorry, Yomus?
Sorry, no, it's sort of like a side-eyeing at everybody in the party to see if anyone going to breach the obvious topic.
What, the goblin to the south of us?
No, the whole Lamashtu blessing the lands thing.
We
You
should
know, the
just-
goddess of turning people into monsters.
We should just pass that for now. There was that goblin over here. It looked like they looked worried. Maybe
Mhm.
they have some information or something.
Oh, you're not a ghost. You scared
Not
me.
yet.
Oh, not yet. Can you turn into one?
Oh, I'd probably die before I do.
I think that's... Yeah, you need to die to turn into a ghost, that's right. I'm... Don't touch a cemetery, I'm looking for ghosts.
Yeah, I thought that's what this was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't
I
count
don't
them
know.
specifically. It's a cemetery.
No. I was trying to
Ah.
make a joke about a giraffe not knowing how to count beyond 5.
You're looking for ghosts?
Ghost, yes. After big fire, they say fire goblins come out of graves at night. It's almost nighttime. Well, it's a few hours, but I'm afraid. I want to see if they're going to catch our new tents alight.
Oh, so are we concerned about undead attacking?
On what?
The dead coming back to life. Or not really life, but the dead getting up and moving around. Like they're not supposed to.
No. Ghosts.
Can you describe what the ghosts look like?
Goblins on fire. Or at least I thought I saw them last night. I've been here all day trying to make sure I saw them. Have to warn everyone if they're truly here. They don't believe me. But I saw them.
Would you feel comfortable if we stayed here at night and looked at the flaming goblins?
I feel safer.
Wait, why are they on fire?
Because they died in a fire.
How did a fire start here?
You not see over here?
You think?
He sort of points across the way to the other side of the place. There's a patch of land that does seem to be scorched.
There's a big fire, a few weeks ago. Lots of goblins get caught. Fire at night. So ghosts come back at night with fire.
Alright, can we go take a look over there where that fire happened?
Sure, there's no ghost there. Unless...
Wait, since when do ghosts only come out at night?
I don't know.
Since they die at night. They come out when they die.
Ah,
Giraffe, have you ever heard of ghosts in the day?
have you ever heard of ghosts in the night?
Yes?
Like
Ghosts
exclusively?
are like
Like
Ghosts.
ghost stories. They're best told at night. That's when the ghosts come out.
Right.
No.
well,
A
ghosts
lot
are
of
like
things come out
stars.
at night.
When the sun is out, you can't see them because it's too bright.
As we're moving past this pillar, Parent's gonna look at some of the skins, or at least try to,
Mhm.
and kind of try to identify if they're from like just regular animals around here.
Yeah, I did open the door.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh! Giraffe.
So, parent, yeah, roll me your nature check.
Since Yarmos is
Oh.
also on looking at animal corpses duty earlier, I'd like to also make that check.
Mm-hmm. Well, all of those beasts. Well, first of all, they have horse hides, a lot of, but they also have a few crocodiles, 2 owlbear hides, and even the hide of a manticore. It seems. It looks really old and ratty, so maybe that happened several generations ago. But yeah, it seems like they take pride in their hunts of bigger creatures than them.
Wait, who's taking care of Norbert?
Norbert's still with us?
he?
They're back in the Kingdom Hall.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm not the type of DM that's like, oh, well, you forgot about your animal companion. Lol, they're dead. No.
So do you have like a stable master at the kingdom that's gonna be taking care of Norbert, or?
Tristan's
It's
taking
Norbert.
care of him.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't surprise me.
I did so.
As you guys are passing by here and recognizing that about those pillars, you also look to the left in what seems to be like a livestock pen. It has a pretty solid fence and it's pretty large for what seems to be only one goat. as one of the goblins sort of is sitting on the fence post, sort of watching it. It's like a muddy goat that's sort of like barely holding on to life.
Yikes.
Yarmos wants to shout something out to them. Hey. Do you prefer goat meat or do you prefer vegetables?
What? What
prefer-
vegetable? I just
Do you
watched
prefer-
Tomorrow Food.
But what food do you like?
Tomorrow Food.
Plant or meat?
Meat, plant. Meat, usually, but we not have a lot of meat. So plant, if you call pickle plant.
Wow, you really are a fence sitter.
What do you call me?
You're sitting on a fence. You're a fence sitter.
Me no fence sitter. Me Tomorrow Food Watcher, not fence sitter. You come say that to Tomorrow Food Watcher's face.
Jarmos, why are
Yeah,
you
tomorrow-
antagonizing them?
Is everything okay?
I'd kick you in your shins. Kobold.
Do it. Do it. Kick him.
Wait, no. I'm sorry.
Sort of like a little like ravenous kid comes up to the like a gate, like claws out.
Hey, you get back here. I'm not fence sitter. I'll show you.
I kind of want to see him fight.
I just saw the pun and went for it.
You're lucky I have to watch Tomorrow Food. Stupid kobold. What the
Yeah.
hear?
Today on Kingmaker, Jarmos bullies children.
Analogous, not actual child, but yeah.
Fair.
So, Giraffe, there's a door here.
I'm curious about the door. May I open the door?
Sure. You creak it open, and you see a room that is empty of any people but is filled with plants. All of them seeming to be that otherworldly variety that you saw in the statue of Lamash 2. You hear, actually, from the fence sitter as you open that door.
Hey! I watched that building too. You know the shaman doesn't allow any of us in there. You'll be careful.
Apologies.
We're not in there. We're also sitting on the fence of whether to go in or not.
I'm just looking from the outside. Don't worry.
I'm admiring the
Ah.
door is all.
I guess that works. He said nobody
It's a
go
very
in.
nice door.
So you can look from outside. That's right. Okay.
Parents is gonna kind of push Giraffe out of the way so he can look into this room.
Yarmos, you may want to take a look yourself.
Oh my gosh.
I have an idea of how to
I'm gonna block the view site.
look at them closely.
You gonna bring out a telescope
No,
gadget?
no, it's something even stupider.
Oh god.
If the party lets him, Gaz will try to like simply waltz into the room.
I'm gonna roll something. You hear a like attempted whistling from the Tomorrow Food Watcher. You can walk in.
Gaz shouts back at him. It's fine. I'm nobody.
As in, he's just whistling, not watching you on the
Oh,
fence.
To
see.
himself,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, that was easy. Gaz is gonna take a close look and maybe pocket one of the plants for later.
Okay, you step inside. It's a veritable greenhouse in here. Roll me a crafting check, actually.
Ooh.
So you see a lot of equipment.
No, stop closing the door.
I wish
less
to hear my
suspicious if it's closed.
Much better.
So, Gaz, you're definitely able to tell that the equipment in here seems to be focused on cultivating alien plant life, but there's no dangerous plants here. But also, you're so well in tune with equipment and gear and sort of like sort of like alchemical equipment, other stuff, you critically succeed, and you realize that the stuff kept here, while it looks at first glance like it should, it's not all that one would expect. It's not like arranged in great ways. The whole thing seems like it's someone staging what they think a greenhouse would look like. It's all too conveniently placed and all like sort of like all this equipment spread out on the desk. But it really doesn't look like that if they were actually working on it.
Interesting. Gaz is still going to pocket one of the plants, just in case, and will share his findings with the party.
Can I do a perception check into this room?
What are you trying to see?
See if there's anything. Well, granted, if Gaz says it looks staged, if maybe there's like something like a hatch or something hidden.
Sure. Not that you can tell.
That's really weird, Gaz.
I know, right? You'd think that if they were trying to stage it, they'd at least make it look like the goblins were actually doing the greenhousing and not someone else.
Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's Max of Tartuccio all over again.
I think we should speak with the shaman more than anything.
Same.
Kiba,
Shaman even a goblin?
you're looking around this place with like a lot of like burnt tent markings and then a burnt building, it seems, once was here. Roll me a perception check, Kiba.
Okie dokie.
Looking around, your eyes are on, well, what may have been a building here, and you pull some of the like tattered remnants of it aside, the wood that is burnt away, and it seems like there's a skeleton hidden in the ash and underneath all of this wood, size of a goblin. Looking down at them, you find clutching still yet in their hand is a metallic object of some sort, otherwise skeletal.
Truly, these goblins are abhorrent. First horticulture, and now insurance fraud.
I want to try to get a closer look at whatever this thing's holding.
Reach down and sort of like having to pull back the fingers of their clutch on this, you find it perhaps was something important to them. A silver religious symbol of Lamashtu.
Oh, what to lament?
A silver
Ship-
religious symbol of Lamashtu. Basically an idol. You don't find much silver in goblin camps.
Quick miscellaneous question to Giraffe. Does Lamashtu happen to have green hair?
Not that I know of.
Certainly
For
not.
better or worse, I don't actually know too much about Lamashtu. I know the basics, and not as much as I'd like.
So was this goblin in here clutching this out of fear and desperation, trapped inside the building?
I do know that Lamashtu likes to give power to those who they consider downtrodden. So probably asking for help.
But didn't receive it.
Can
I'm
I-
not going to steal this, believing I know what it is.
Can I make some sort of roll to try to connect that this might be related to the alleged hauntings?
Sure. Roll me... Are you expecting it might be illusions, or what are you expecting to
I'm trying to
confirm?
figure out, like, I guess in general, like, ghosts. Like, what causes ghosts to happen?
Religion. Check. You have enough idea that ghosts happen when spirits... It's this standard thing. Spirits not wanting to move on for whatever reason, needing to haunt something undone. And until something is done, something that releases them from this realm, they stick around. But you know that, yes, they are connected to their remnants. But if that goblin said that all the ghosts are over at the cemetery and not here, perhaps the goblins don't know about this skeleton at all. They wouldn't have left a skeleton behind here if they knew about it. They would have buried him. They have a cemetery.
Absolutely.
Well, that might be one idea for the hauntings, maybe.
I agree. I think it shouldn't be us who do it. We should inform them.
Inform them we were digging through their stuff.
I saw it as I was walking past.
Either way, you have one more sort of like location you haven't really looked at. You see a little training yard, doesn't seem very, important up there. But you also see a building to the south.
That's actually where I was heading next. On this building here, next to the, I don't know what to call that.
The
Altar?
plateau, yeah.
Plateau. Are these windows on this building?
They are drawn curtains with over windows. And it seems like this stone building has been set up on stumps to match the height of the plateau, instead of off to its side.
Not like no entrances?
Entrance on the front of the shrine there on the plateau.
Oh, gotcha.
If I had to make a guess, that's where that shaman probably lives.
That seems likely.
This building right here, next to us here. Is there any sounds coming from the inside of this?
You see black smoke belching from its top and the sound of metal against metal. A hammer welding metal, or shaping metal, perhaps. It's a blacksmith's.
That's a smithy. I'm pretty familiar with those sounds.
You ever wanted to learn how goblins make things, Gaz?
No, considering how everything else here looks, I would rather pass on finding anything about how they do things.
It doesn't hurt to look, does it?
I guess you do have a point there. Maybe we'll figure out if this fella made the prop tools up there, or what else is going on in there. Gaz is going to poke the, open the door a crack and peek inside.
You crack it open, and you immediately hear a voice in Goblin saying,
Stop checking in on me. I already have it. Give me a second to cool it off. Damn it, these guys are insistent.
What has he got?
Can Gaz make it out?
Cracking the door open, not really. You would have to crack it fully open. See the other parts of a shop.
I'd have to open the door fully. The angle is very awkward.
Are you choking? Say something. Hello?
Of course, it's also all being translated. Very awkward to think about.
Parenth reaches around and pushes the door open.
Why are you? Who are you?
See a goblin in here. Seems like a gruff blacksmith. Has a pickle in one hand, sort of munching on it.
Sir, do you have a
Love
permit
this.
to be eating that pickle?
Of course I have a permit. It's called being a goblin. But you obviously aren't, so what are you doing here?
Getting a tour of the facilities?
What?
We're just checking around.
Checking around, huh? Well, what do you want to check?
Your craftswork. I'm a craftsman myself, you see.
Well, come and see then.
Well, if he's being invited, Gaz will step inside and take a look.
It's like a decent shop. There's a lot of like sort of like scrap metal and sort of like stuff that's being haphazardly shaped. A lot of these goblin weapons called dog slicers. There's sort of these like curved either halberds or like shank like slicing weapons. They're meant to attack and slice at creatures larger than themselves.
Any dog slicers of the explosive variety?
No.
There's
Well, really-
certainly
Sorry, good.
some very sharp bits that you got there.
That's right. I make everything around here. I do all the work around here, too. Much of it. Everyone else is lazy, especially after the shaman got rotten.
You got rotten, you say?
Yeah, like this.
Sort of like shakes the pickle towards you.
From the inside out. That's how these rot, and that's how the shaman rotted. I know what happened to him after the fire.
The shaman turned into a pickle?
Ugh.
Did he burst open?
No, he didn't
Phoebe's kind of
burst
outside
open.
the building and looks over at you like,
Was he like a different person after the fire?
He was not Pickle Mugland.
No, I think he wanted to be called Pickle Rick, but anyway.
Shut up.
Oh my god, he turned into a pickle again.
no!
Okay.
Funniest thing I've ever seen.
Can I fireball this goblin?
Jesus Christ. It was gonna come up, but
Yeah, he got rotten. No, he didn't turn into a pickle. It's not funny. Alright? Nothing funny about turning into a pickle.
Of course. Proceed though. His
I don't know why
behavior
it'd be
changed
funny.
after this fire.
His brains got mixed up or something. Got too close to it. I don't know. He's acting differently.
Since you do everything around here, what can you tell me about the peculiar greenhouse to the north?
Well, after the fire, Mugland asked me to build him a new house. I got all the goblins to do it. It took them way too long because they can't figure out how to nail a nail. Or screw in a light bulb. Something like that, I don't know. But it took a while. We built a new greenhouse right next to the old one. And started putting all these strange plants inside. Never seen anything like them, but he always went to me for the pots for them.
What is he working on making?
I don't know. He just seems to like weird plants all of a sudden. He put all those plants over Lamashtu, which, if you ask me, is pretty blasphemous. Lamashtu doesn't care about plants, she cares about monsters.
What about monster plants? Like shambling mounds and that sort?
I mean, I guess, but you don't put flowers on Lamashtu. Lamashtu is not a god, goddess you put flowers on. You put skins on, you put fangs on. You make a necklace of fangs and teeth and other things. That's what you put on the statue, not plants.
Did your shaman? Did they have a silver symbol of the Mashu?
They did, yeah. I haven't seen them with it. How do you know that?
I don't think the person, the goblin that's walking around is your shaman.
If I had a gold
Probably-
piece for every time a phony shaman went around corrupting the practices of the local people here.
My
What,
friend,
you're saying he's not Mugland?
There is a dead, the remains of somebody, a person in the burnt wreckage.
If I may, this is probably best something discussed behind closed doors. Don't you agree?
And perhaps something
At this
best seen
point,
with your
yes.
own eyes.
Well, I'll
So-
gladly shout how much I am annoyed with Mugland, but sure, whatever, get inside. Not even in town half the time anymore. So what you're saying is he's not rotten?
No, he's a completely different person, it would appear.
That's what it looks like now.
Well, how'd that happen? How could we would be able to tell? Well, I kind of do.
How did the fire start?
I don't know. One night, everyone was sleeping after eating a lot of pickles. We go very deep in sleep when we eat a lot of pickles, and a fire started. A lot of goblins died because they were too fast asleep and choked and stuff. I don't know. And Muglin came out and started putting out the fires. Everyone was like, yeah, okay, shaman doing good.
Well, dude, I think we found the shaman's skeleton. I think they're dead.
So who put out the fires?
Probably the person who caused the fires.
Oh, just make my
Might
head
also
hurt.
died putting them out.
So how they, Well, if Muglin is not Muglin, then who the hell is he?
A fae, perhaps.
We've dealt with things like this before. People replacing other people to cause issues.
I'm going to equip my cold iron hatchet. Well, I'm going to have it readied.
What do you think we should do? I mean, the other goblins like me a lot. Oh wait, my name is Zengel, by the way.
Do you think if you had the shaman's holy symbol, do you think you could convince them that there's a fake?
I could, yeah. He walked around with that all the time. Showed it off. Said it was a gift from the master. And then he said he lost it in the fire.
I have an idea for what I could pull, but I need to make sure I need to find out something before that.
I'm going to go retrieve that thing.
Sure.
All right.
Well, there's also a corpse that helps with the convincing.
Yeah, the skeleton was clutching the symbol.
Well, I guess he died in the fire, the real Mugland. Well, if you get the evidence, I'll gather the other goblins, and we'll shout for the shaman to come out. And maybe we can get everyone to believe it.
Parent, once the shaman shows himself, I need you to tell me if he uses some kind of spell to disguise himself, and hopefully what school it might be from.
Well, I can only detect magic. I can't tell exactly what school it's from.
Well, I'm willing to roll the dice of that. That's good enough.
I believe you didn't take both detect magic and read aura.
I'm gonna run out after Giraffe.
Listen,
Okay.
don't judge my choices as a wizard, okay?
By the way, would parents allow Yarmos to poison his weapons?
It is not worth poisoning his spirit.
I have poison cantrips now, so it basically infinite poisons.
It's free.
It's free.
Oh boy, free drinks.
They're weaker, but might as well. If you've no compunctions with using that.
Giraffe, don't touch it.
I won't.
I just thought of something. The position, the pose of the skeleton might prove our point. We
That's a
shouldn't
good
disturb
point.
it. We should let people see it.
I won't then. I'll just watch it in case our mystery man tries to show up.
Thank you, my friend.
We really have both an imposter and pickles related to this whole arc, don't we?
In pickle.
I'm gonna go gather the other goblins.
Well,
Well.
let's hope my little thingy works. It would certainly help with spilling any doubts that might remain.
Just be prepared for a fight if this is going to go how I think it's going to go. And Jarmos, yes, you can throw on the spear if you want, but it's probably not going to be used.
Hey everyone, gather by the pickle hut. We have news. News from the outsiders. The
Pickle
Longshanks.
hut. Isn't that a type of helmet?
That's a pickle help.
I know my German. As the goblins sort of gather around, you see the whole camp sort of come along, a few dozen of them gathering in the crowd.
What's going on? Why'd you summon us, Sengo? We want pickles. Well, we'll get pickles. The shaman can no longer hoard them. And the shaman is not the shaman, and I'm here to prove it. These Longshanks have proof. Buckland, or whoever you are, get out here.
You see the stone door that was on the shrine there open up, and out from behind the statue of Lamashtu steps a pretty wicked-looking goblin.
What is the meaning of this? Why are you summoning me, and what are these Longshanks doing here? Didn't I tell you to keep them out? I bet they're blasphemers, heretics.
That one over there actually worships Lamashtu, so quite the opposite. He points to Giraffe.
Whether you do or not, the rest of them don't. And you have proof of what? What sort of proof would you need? I am Mugland. I've always been Mugland, and it is blasphemous to even say I'm not. I've been the shaman to Lamashtu for many years now, for this place here.
Anything you guys say?
I think all of you folk have something that you need to see over at the wreckage of the fire.
Your real shaman passed away in the fire.
Roll diplomacy check, Kiva.
Yormos is like almost shaking in rage from where he's standing.
Man, it's like the exact same thing that happened to you.
Nice.
What do you say? Shaman dead? Fence sitter, go check. Alright,
But don't
fine.
disturb it. Just look.
How am I
Well,
supposed to look?
It's their people. They can do whatever they want with them.
Yes, but the pose is important.
As they rush over there, the few goblins, as you sort of point out the corpse, they sort of look him over, look at the symbol.
What? How'd they be here? They're buried. Who this? What they say is true. There is another skeleton there, as a symbol of Lamashtu. What? No!
You hear the shaman say,
This must be some trick they're pulling. They've probably worked some magic on the goblins, our tribesmen, to fool their minds, make them see something that's not there.
If I may, I think I have something that might help with that. Hello, I'm Gaz. I do things. I have a thing which helps to dispel exactly that, hopefully.
What are you
he's going
talking
to-
about?
He's going to try and dispel, well, an active arcane or primal spell within 30 feet around him.
okay. Material Essence Dispenser. Just emits a burst of disordered energy. Okay. You send this out, and it doesn't connect to anything as it washes over them.
What in the name of the mother of monsters was that? Are they trying to... You're trying to kill me. You're trying to do something to me. Casting spells and using your instruments on us?
It was simply a detection spell of some sort. You have nothing to fear.
Oh, do I? Can I cast spells on you then?
If you are the shaman, explain to me why your holy symbol is clutched in the hands of a skeleton under your burned house.
I can tell you.
Oh, I'm waiting.
I'm gonna roll a check.
What that was probably one of ours trying to steal it during the fire. They burned, and nobody found them. Just like I said, I didn't have the holy symbol. I lost it. And guess
Why
what?
would somebody try to steal it during a fire when they have no chance of escape?
Why would
How
a
would you know
shaman
that?
lose something so precious?
It was a fire. I was
And why-
focused on putting it out for
And
everyone
why did
here.
you start? Why did you start the fire then?
Who says I started the fire? That's ridiculous. One of the people here probably was stupid.
The people here are incredibly stupid. Even then, I doubt they can start a fire with the campfire being quite literally on the opposite side of the camp.
You don't think we had a campfire over there before? That was our previous
Campfire-
place with a camp.
I want to do sense motive perception.
Absolutely. There you go. It's hard to say the truth because everything might be right. It might be that some goblin messed up and started the fire. It might be that another one went to steal something during the chaos. You can't say for certain looking at them.
Is there something we can double up on it as well?
Of course, yeah, each of you has your own inclinations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sure do.
I feel kind of bad about this, but then again, I started DMing for another party and saw that not everyone has like any perception to speak of. So this is something only we can do.
Any perception to speak of? Everyone has training in perception.
Yeah, but their mods are very
Oh, yeah.
regardless.
None of you is able to tell for certain.
So here's the next question: why the sudden change with the flowers around the statue?
Sudden change? Perhaps it is time for us to shift our beliefs in the Mash too. After such a dangerous fire, of course, it would be the right thing. The obvious thing, to try to worship her in a better way, because we were failing before. Isn't that right?
The goblins sort of like shrug to themselves. You might be right.
Wouldn't it be more prudent to worship her in a more fireproof way rather than surrounding her in plants which might burn up again during the next fire?
The Master can protect herself from a fire. We don't need to worry about that. Or your god so weak. Heretic.
But plants have absolutely nothing to do with Lamashtu whatsoever. This certainly doesn't sound like worshipping Lamashtu in a different way. This sounds like worshipping someone else altogether.
Roll a religion check. They also say,
And who are you to judge? Who do you worship?
I'm gonna re-roll that, just in case.
I worship Lamashtu.
Finally.
Ooh.
I think
Oh.
you worship yourself.
Jesus Christ.
the
No,
goblins look to
Who?
Kiva for a moment. They also
Hi.
begin to nod.
Shaman speaking weirdly. Maybe this one right. He know a lot about religion. Lots about religion. Lots about the Master. Maybe even more than Shaman. Shaman doesn't sound right.
You hear Zango say,
Shaman Mugland, or whoever you are. You're not him.
I'm still in Muglin's voice, but
You're not him. But we can't fight you. You have power of the Master behind you. But Longshanks might.
sort of puffs out his chest, but it steps back.
Oh yes, thank you. Right next to Parenth.
You all don't know anything. It is my purview to understand the will of the Master and... Let's end this charade. I am tired of this stupid objective. This was never going to work with these idiots around me.
As their shape begins to form, their voice changes into this more gruff, humanoid one, or human one, as well. It seems like a human man of some sort steps out from it. This disguise.
This was all a bad idea. But I still do it for the will of Lamashtu, and you will all die here under her flames.
Any initiatives?
Should his
Gladly.
token be changed?
No.
Remember that I've been scouting for danger, and I.
He's
rolled
just as
one. I
ugly as a
love it.
goblin. It's fine.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, he's not a man. Doppelganger? I saw that ability.
Seems like they change back into a human as their regular shape. Even if a doppelganger reveals "quote unquote" themselves, they have other shapes they can go into.
Why did I do that? That was the wrong one by far.
It's fine. I'll
That's
just
like
make it.
2 degrees of the wrong button.
There you go. So,
Thank you.
and as they are speaking of religion, they're going to try to use their religion. Actually, no, their perception is better for initiative. Okay, so with that, who are we starting with here? Let's see. Giraffe. They seem off their footing after all of this, sort of taken aback by you guys, your arguments, and the ire of the clan here. Giraffe, you have the advantage. What do you do?
And how tall is this ledge? Can I just climb up it?
5 feet. Yeah, you can easily
Oh.
sort of mantle.
Yeah, easily. Gonna stride,
He's technically here.
climb up it, and behind him now, I'm gonna slice at him with my cold iron hatchet and my bloodthirst.
Okay. Hits.
Oh, there's
Guess
a
what's
check
on
mark
this
now.
one?
Does that tell me if it's a
Yep,
hit or
it
crit?
does. That's another new update. And I'll roll
I
this
love
fortitude.
that.
And guess what? Their fortitude is their lowest, but
Okay.
I still have enough
I saw that 20.
hits though. Either way. As the other slash comes down, we have another chance for the poison, the wyvern venom that you harvested, to hit them, and they fail. Almost a critical failure at that, but roll that 5d6.
Wonderful.
Yarmus.
That's spicy.
I can't wait for him to
11.
keep failing.
More damage, and yes, this poison is now racking their body as it slices in. That'll be your turn, Giraffe. Gaz.
He's going to step on over to the other side. He will overdrive.
Okay.
Let me roll a check on that.
That's your one.
I will re-roll that immediately.
Okay, as your gears start falling apart, you haven't been maintaining them as well as you should have. But you're able to pull it back together. 31 is a success. So give yourself the success there.
And final action is to simply strike out at this guy.
Mm-hmm. This is technically not a flank, because Giraffe is 5 feet up. And it's not a perfect sort of backwards forwards. But either way, it still would have missed.
Oh, I never thought I could just like shove him off.
That's
Pushing
okay.
it off the stairs.
Okay. Parenth, we get to your turn.
Would you recall knowledge on this thing?
That'll be a society check. It's honestly very difficult to tell because this is a person. They have unique abilities. You're not sure exactly what they're going to do.
Okay, well, let me tell you what I'm going to do. Penrith reaches his hand out and tries to enwrap this guy in magical fetters, so to speak.
Yeah.
What hand?
He will succeed, at the very least. Only being slowed for 1 round as his movements slacken.
Wait for next turn. I'm done.
So, Yarmos, it is yours.
Wonderful. Yarmos is gonna start off with a. Go with a. What was the word? Right, it's gonna bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Top left of him.
It's a miss, unfortunately. Just gonna
I'm
come
gonna
once.
re-roll that because I
Okay.
have. I I really have plenty to spare.
22 is still going to be a failure, unfortunately.
Fortunate, but we can still get to the splash damage and the effects.
Mm-hmm. Make sure to put out the, fortitude save. He does get a greater degree. Well, he rolled a natural 20 there, too.
Oh,
So,
okay, of course. Yarmos is then, gosh, decision paralysis. Yarmos is going to go ahead, to come up next to, Giraffe
Mhm.
and, lather up one of the, spent, weapons with new poisons.
alright.
Is it for his turn?
So, going over to theirs.
You all still heretics in the eyes of the Mash too. I bring her and her beast as well. Go, my pretties.
Snapping fly traps.
Hey, since that stepped
Operate.
away from me, can I?
He is manipulating. With his
Manipulating.
throw of these
Opportunity,
fly traps.
opportunity attack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Amazing.
Giraffe remembered.
Wait, I
Okay,
actually
Roman.
can.
Yeah, it's a manipulate action on the deploy fly traps. It's on him. He is the trick.
Cool.
Now you're still attacking one of the fly traps there. The trigger is him.
Oh, him.
Yes. So either way, 21 would miss against them, unless you want to hear a point.
I want to hear a point.
Okay. 10 on the dice against them. 28 is exactly a hit. Roll the damage, but it doesn't disrupt him from throwing these flytrap pods out. And as you got some new poison, we're going to see if that affects them as well.
His
It
blood is
unfortunately
turning into
doesn't.
a cocktail of poison. No.
So we'll roll high enough to resist it. So we get over to their turn. Actually, we need to roll these guys into initiative here. So let's do that. Alright. They won't take their new initiative until the actual start of the new round, though. So that'll be their turn while they're slowed. Their slowed goes away. And we go to Kiva.
Cool. Well, I don't want them to eat my dragon.
Your dragon. He's my dragon.
You don't.
My bad.
Hello?
I move around to flank, and I'm gonna try to cut this thing up
Alright.
best I can with my flaming glaive.
Revealing the corruption of this doppelganger.
That's a hit. Not a crit, though.
Impressive.
Still, the flaming glaive
Big
slicing
like-
in. It deals a good amount of damage to it, but as you hit it, it will immediately snap back at you with a strike. Which will not hit you. Not with your armor.
Jesus Christ. Champions.
Love
Mhm.
that.
So, anything
Follow
else?
up strike then, yeah. Let's just do it.
And 18 is a
Oh.
critical hit even with map. Actually, these guys they're not tough. Slicing down, cleaving the heads from their bodies. You've fought plenty of these and, well, they're no threat to you.
Does Spirit happen to have a spell that sinks this dude and all his plants into an island 40 feet below?
That'll
No
be
fireball shooting gallery today. I'm sorry.
Kiva. So,
Well, that should keep you a little bit safer.
go to this doppelganger. Giraffe?
Yeah. Wow, the turn order went by fast. I heard doppelganger, but I'm going to double slice against the doppelganger.
Mm-hmm. Hatchet in hand, cleaving into them. Misses, actually.
Gonna hero point that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually.
Well, I
Yarmos,
I know too, yeah. I was waiting until the end of his strikes, but
he fails. Roll that 6d6 there. 34 does hit Giraffe. 6d6,
Nice.
28 damage with the poison.
That's a really good roll.
that's
And
a
14
fireball
there.
every
I
turn.
like that.
Mm-hmm. The poison is really coursing through him. He's having a hard time here.
Then the bloodthirst for my second strike.
Is
Hey, that's a crit.
Yeah. Bloodthirst cleaves in for 30 more as you stab and slice into their back.
He's gonna start bleeding, and I'm gonna get some temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm. As they bleed, we're gonna go over to Gaz.
Hold on, I have one more
wait,
action.
You do, yeah.
Shoving's an attack, isn't it?
Yes, but remember it's modified by map, so you'll be at minus
Yeah.
10 for the athletics check.
You know what? That's fine.
Okay.
I can still try.
Mhm.
So it's just athletics?
Yeah. 8 minus 10, 14 against their fortitude DC of that. That's a crit fail, actually. There are penalties to a crit fail. So let me look here. Where is shove? There it is. Crit fail. Unfortunately, Giraffe, as you try to overextend yourself, you end up prone.
Oh no!
Get your hands off of me!
Gaz.
Guys, this guy is wearing armor that can be tampered with, right?
They are not. They only have ropes.
That is annoying. In that case, Gaz will try to grapple this fella. First thing.
Nine will be a success, actually. They are grabbed.
Nice. Well, I don't have high hopes of hitting him, but I will still do an attack.
Okay. Missing by 1, unfortunately. With flank.
And another one. Third one's the charm. Dang it.
You won't be doing it. Nah. So, as you have a hold on them at the very least, it makes them flat-footed to everyone. Parent, your turn.
I am going to cast Scorching Ray.
Mm-hmm. Get the massive animation I keep needing to turn off. But whatever.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Do I do 2 attacks at once? I forgot.
You attack each with their separate rolls.
Okay, first one is on the guy being held.
Miss
Second
there,
one
unfortunately.
on the plant.
And on the plant, it's going to be a critical miss.
I'm gonna re-roll the plant one.
Okay.
Gosh, it has to roll it every time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. That'll be a hit on the plant, though. So you blast this with fire. It's not going to like it. 12 plus the modifier to weakness, 17 damage to it. Yeah, it's not looking great. You have one more action.
I'm going to use... throw my spear.
Okay.
At the goblin.
This will be at map 5 because of Scorching Ray being an
Yes,
attack.
you were correct. So
Either
that's
way.
a super miss.
Would have missed, yeah.
That's all for me.
Alright, now going to the snapping fly trap. Closest target is Yarmos. It's going to snap towards him. 13 on the dice. Still doesn't miss Yarmos as you're able to leap out of the way. They go for a map attack. And from here, it's not going to do much.
Not.
Even with... yeah, it's not going to do anything there. These guys aren't tough. So, Yarmos, what do you do?
Ducking and weaving between those attacks, he gets his familiar to snake between his body and hand him a thunderstone and another dose of venom. He's first going to thunderstone right here to catch both the fly trap and the
Which one is your
doppelganger?
main target?
The doppelganger.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a hit. Very close to even a crit, but not so. As it blasts.
I'll need to have a
in.
20 for that.
5 damage there, 2 to the trap, and all creatures within 10 feet must succeed a
Oh, no.
fortitude
Oh no.
That's all of us.
What save?
Fortitude. So 10 feet is that in terms of a
Yeah,
burst.
but Deafen doesn't do anything unless we're a spellcaster, I imagine.
Yeah, but it
I mean,
hurts.
we won't be able to talk, but you know.
Ow! My ears.
Oh,
The irony.
Yarmos, you've completely deafened yourself. Actually, you're deafened for, actually, until the end of your turn. It's not even that bad, even on crit fail. Otherwise, everyone else is okay. So, ringing in your ears. That'll be, I think, you, Yarmos, or one more?
In this last action, he just slathers more venom onto the bloodthirst.
Okay.
For,
Now, on their turn.
Lamastu, guide me. Bring down your wrath. And heal me as well.
He's going to try to use a somatic component to cast a heal.
Can I not make an opportunity attack if I'm prone?
No, you can. You just
No,
have a
it's-
-2.
Okay, I will then.
Yep.
somatic
heal.
only, or
Yep. First action somatic.
I'm going for a
right, somatic
shins.
is the
Mhm.
hands.
But you miss
Th-
because you are
That's gonna
prone.
be hero pointed.
Okay, last one. Exactly
Don't
the
do this
same.
to me.
You're not able to interrupt them as they cast a single action heal. So it's only going to be these dice, 21 healing to them. And then, for the remaining 2 actions, also
The
DC
grab
5,
though,
yes.
Should they like roll a check for that or something?
Yep, they should roll the DC 5. They are fine there. So, now, they're going to cast another spell. 2 action... I don't know why these are blind. I don't know why they're coming out like that.
Fireball.
Divine Wrath, as he looks up into the sky, and this sort of beam of fury from Lamashtu slams into the ground here.
All of you will burn.
I need a fortitude save for everyone.
I'm in danger.
Unless you're evil. I don't think you're evil.
Isn't giraffe evil as we
I'm
just
chaos.
established?
I'm not exactly that evil. Fortitude, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reroll that because I have always too many hero points as an alchemist. I said I'm going to reroll that.
There it is.
There we go.
Very good roll. So, DC is 28. Kiba succeeds, Yarmo succeeds, and Parenth succeeds. So each of you takes half damage of this roll here. So those I said who succeeds take 30. Now, the Snapping Fly Trap takes 30 itself. Or, sorry, I meant 15. Yeah, you guys are good. So, Giraffe, you take 30 damage from this.
Oh no.
And Gaz, you take 30. Also, each of you, Giraffe and Gaz, are sickened. Wait a minute. Give yourself 15 back, Giraffe? Or wait, let me see. Spell gains creature that match the those that neither match nor oppose. Treat their saving throw as 1 degree better. So yeah, give yourself 15 back, Giraffe. And Gaz, I think you're neutral too, so give yourself 15 back too.
That's fair enough.
Oh sweet. Chaotic neutral paying off.
None of you are good. At least those who failed the save are not good. And the trap took a big damage there, but otherwise, actually should have 15 back because.
Wait,
It's
so
also
being
neutral.
neutral only has an effect on people who failed, right?
Everything is good here. Or wait.
Gotcha.
Oh, I thought you were good because Serenray. But give yourself
Yeah,
15
that
back.
doesn't.
Mm.
Gotcha.
Just off the top of my head, that's all they can do.
I mean, I have no idea when the official alignment shift is, and if we're even gonna do alignment for long enough.
Yeah,
have
they
that
still
alignment
are
shift.
for a while, but yeah, they still bleed a little bit here.
You're still up. Why aren't you fallen?
Maybe your faith isn't as strong as you think.
Kiba?
Cool. Oh, this potentially puts me in range of both if needed.
Mhm.
Our faith doesn't have us harming the innocent.
Why not? Can do so much to harm. People get in your way, they're fools.
However, I have no problem with harming the guilty and the wicked.
It's gonna be a
Rerolling hero
miss.
point.
Okay. Trying again for a better strike. 19, total of 35.
Oh, there we go.
That is not a critical, but it's certainly a hit. Drove 22
Guys,
damage to
that's
them.
fine.
Slices into them. little bit less because of positive, of course. Still only up.
I will attempt to finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to keep this guy alive to interrogate him or anything?
Rerolling.
Okay. One more
Not
reroll.
keep him alive.
My last point.
Will miss. Not able to strike in. Go to Giraffe. On the Giraffe's turn. Poison still courses through them. Natural
you do
one.
that?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
So-
use one action to... Actually, I might not need to. I'm gonna wait
Yarmos,
till you
roll the 8d6 from the poison.
Oh, oh boy. All right,
8d6.
that's what we're doing.
27 damage to them, puts them down to 1 health. As
Wah.
they barely hold up with all this poison coursing through them, over like 70 damage in total with all the poison. They're very rough.
I'm going to
I
use
love
one action
playing
to
a
get up.
blaster caster.
Okay.
And looming over him, I'm going to do a double slice.
Okay. Both swung up. This will miss. But the Bloodthirst. It seeks the blood. That's a crit. To cleave in.
His blood is a cocktail of poisons.
Their head comes clean from their body as you slice in with both weapons. The snapping fly trap just sort of, withers as that is the end of that. The goblins stare on for a moment, sort of surprised and unsure, before Zengel sort of speaks up.
See? I told you all. That was a doppelganger. That was a lie or something.
Look at the body. That doesn't look like a goblin. I mean, the face kind of does, but other than the face.
So, who's shaman now? Shaman dead. I'll be a shaman.
Says Zengel.
Me. Because I already do everything around here.
I mean, you can't
Yeah.
be worse than this one, at least.
Do you need any help with shamaning? I've got a lot of experience.
And first, rule of shaman, we eat pickles tonight. Go. Open the pickle storage.
As the goblins sort of cheer and rush towards the pickles, sort of like stomping over each other trying to get in.
No, no, no. Those ones in the back are the best. No. Give me them.
Well, they're gonna be busy for a while, it looks like.
They will, yes. And I always have a pickle in my pocket.
He sort of pulls out another one.
Now,
Shaman Zengdal, there's a request we would like to make.
sure. What is it?
Might we be able to investigate the inside of the
Oh, yeah.
foul shaman's shack?
Go in there. Whatever was in there is probably his. You could take whatever it is.
You find a simple shrine room and a bed in there and a chest.
I come in here and Banth is already looting it. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
see him
parents
come
for ya.
up.
Lots of gold. Glimmers in the chest.
And I take a good look at the
Hey.
goblin here. Well,
That's a
ex-goblin.
Seems to have robes of like greenery and such. Definitely looks like some sort of cultist to your
And a
first eye.
sack.
That's where the fly traps.
Yeah,
came
does
from.
it still have pods in it?
No.
Interesting, okay.
While the treasure is very appealing to parents, there's some more important stuff to check first. Like, is there anything in here that will help with our investigation?
Nothing
That guy was definitely
at
related, but
all. You don't see any writings, you don't see anything like that. Just the treasures in a small shrine to lash to. You check thoroughly. Yeah, nothing with your investigation. Zengel sort of speaks to Kiba here.
So you came here for the monsters in the countryside, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And whoever this is probably connected to that. Because this all happened sort of at the same time.
Given the flowers that we've seen in that other building, I would say that's almost certainly correct.
Never felt like we were doing anything, like at their behest. Like, this isn't... We're not at fault. Our people aren't. They
No, you were tricked.
sent someone, yeah. Someone make you think that we were at fault.
I'm glad we went with a more peaceful way of approaching this.
Yes,
You know-
this is the way.
The Hargolka incident weighing heavy on everyone I see.
Now, Kiba, I don't know if you're thinking this too, but do you think we should invite these goblins into our kingdom?
Of course.
I'm glad we agree.
And we'll gladly accept. And we'll help you even with this beast problem. From what I know, that fake Muglin's always headed out east saying he was looking for herbs, but he was away for like 2 days at a time. So somewhere out east he would head out for some reason.
We'll definitely go and look and see what might be out there. Do you
Did he
think?
take any? Did he take anyone with him, or did he come up back with anybody?
Nobody with him, nobody came back. Just him.
Then I guess we'll have to look in that direction. That's a big leap, though.
Right, yeah. Either way, we'll send out scouts. If you don't find it yourselves, they'll probably find it. We know how to go around these lands easier. But, thank you. We work with you in the future.
One more thing.
Hmm?
I pick up the dog slicer that's kind of lying by the corpse here.
Mhm.
Is this one of yours?
I mean, we'll take it. Why not? It's Dog Slicer, so it's Goblin.
Yes. It looks very good. It would likely help keep you safer.
Okay, I'll take it. He takes it.
Felt like the right thing to do.
Has runes on it. Took old one from Shaman who had these on.
Was that the old shamans then?
Well, yes, everything was the old shaman stuff. Most of it, at least.
Then it definitely belongs in your hands then.
All right. Well, I have to do even more work now. Do everything myself. Catch up with me later about the integration or whatever.
Feel free to send requests for aid as needed. We're still growing ourselves, but we can try to do what we can to cooperate.
Will do. Alright, stop. Get off each other. Stop hitting him. There's plenty for everyone. Move.
As he's trying to wrangle them. You guys gain 120 experience points for this encounter. And sort of investigating this place, figuring out the truth of it.
Yarmos looks intensely happy, like it was extremely cathartic.
The pickle incident! Kiba.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. Just a very specific kind of descriptor.
Are we ever going to forget?
Not when you call it the pickle incident.
Well, you guys have some information. But it is late, actually, at night. But you're in a safe spot to rest. Or has gotten late, as this was like one of your last sort of exploration activities for the day. And as night falls,
Do they offer any? I don't ask, do they offer?
goblins are pretty greedy about their pickles. None of them comes up to offer
Got
you
it.
any.
I'll be good.
So, you guys may rest. as the goblins sing their strange sort of like shanty songs all throughout the night. They have sort of like fermented drinks that they bring out, and there's fights and squawks, and it's just a chaotic affair here,
Fermented pickle juice.
essentially, or something that's alcoholic for, which it probably is.
I'll just since we're kind of staying here, I'll just kind of casually see if they like music at all, and we'll try to play on the lute
Sure.
and the lyre as a bit as just for fun.
Sure.
I'm not trying to get anything out of it.
Or performance.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. As you go over
Oh,
and do as beautiful and as graceful of a song as you possibly can, the goblins sort of like turn and stare with their beady red eyes, and some of them lower their ears, others sort of cover them.
What the hell is that? It's hurting. Oh, God. Get it away. Stop. Oh, it's too much. Where's the grating sounds? Where's the banging and the screaming? Oh,
wait, I can do that too.
no.
Isn't this like his first good performance role?
Zengel is like trying to crawl up.
Stop. It's hurting. Turn that off.
What if I instead try to just heckin' jam on the lute then?
Kiva, it's time to come back.
Wait, I can get through to them.
Shifting your
I'm gonna-
sort of idea.
Yeah, I want to try one more just to see if I have to.
Parent let him. His pride won't take another blow otherwise.
Now this is music. Okele karo Nikolaga.
They start, rushing up here and singing to it out of tune and sort of stamping their feet out of tune. Everything is awful, but Akiva, because you're rolling badly, it seems perfect for them, even if
I'm
you're trying to jam
just
out.
Gonna get it. I'm just totally gonna get into this. Yeah.
I mean, it can't be that bad. Only 80% of the average person can perform this well.
It really wasn't that bad. It's just
Bad
yeah.
for Kiva standards.
And as the grating music and song of the goblins passes all through the night, with the rest of you having a hard time getting some sleep, a new day arises. All the goblins are just like dead asleep now at this point,
Good.
slumped over stools and all that. So,
Overnight, did any mysterious ghostly stuff happen?
oh no, not at all. You just heard all throughout like the sort of party that one goblin trying to convince everyone.
So they're gonna show up, okay?
Almost on the verge of tears because nobody believes them.
I feel so bad for them. So, are we going east now to see what's going on east?
Absolutely. I am
probably
so
should,
ready.
Yeah,
These goblins are a little more
Definitely.
chaotic than I can handle.
there's multiple
That's-
people to this ritual, so he definitely had accomplices.
You guys head out.
Let's go east.
So, heading eastwards, out into the wilderness. I'll change the music. A little bit more wildernessy. Giraffe, having a good look through this region, you come across a place that hits your ears first, but everyone else can start to hear it. It has a strange and somewhat unsettling sound. Almost as if The whispering of a group of hidden conspirators were carried on the wind that blows through an otherwise unremarkable dale here between two hills. It's whispering on the wind.
Is it like real whispering?
You're not sure. It's over one of the hills here. You're sort of like hearing it as it comes in your direction. It definitely feels like it's carried by the wind, but you're not sure what the source could be. Unless you, of course, investigate.
We should check this out and investigate it.
Hear that? Sounds like the smell of scheming.
Sounds like cult activity.
And as this is carried on it, Giraffe, you're not as convinced. This doesn't sound like people. It sounds like wind being changed. You know a lot of that sort of wind being changed in your homeland, in fact. And you can tell. Over the hill here, there's a lot of ravines, small holes even, in the ground and hillside of this other dale here, this new one as you pass the other hill here. Some narrow fissures.
I wonder if there's anything in them.
Narrow fissures? Oh, like cracks in the ground.
Mm-hmm. Strange striations on the Earth's surface here, and parent, as you get closer, your curiosity piqued by them, looking inside of them. Your eyes just shimmer with delight as you see collections glittering of gemstones, natural formations of crystals, that seemingly over the millennia broke open these narrow fissures in the land as they grew, causing the wind to change over the holes here, but also leading you to them as well, as if they were calling for someone to finally bring them out.
I figure we'll have to come back later and like mine them out at some point.
Yeah, it's for the purposes of the kingdom management stuff.
Yeah.
But
It's like a gold vein we found.
not just like the Golden Vein, this one would actually produce luxury resources instead of ore resources. But it's something still to keep in mind now that your kingdom has this sort of source of gemstones. Could be nice.
Yeah,
Anyway.
this is stuff that we can kind of abstract over time since we're not doing the official way.
Absolutely, yeah.
I claim all these gems for me.
Wow. That's such a dragon thing for you to say.
I can put them all in my room.
I kind of might need them for some of my gadgets.
That's ridiculous. Who's ever heard of precious stones and metals being used for gadgets? It's like using gold for contraptions.
I'd,
Such a waste.
I'd much rather have a nice bed.
Give yourselves
I don't
30
thi-
experience points.
I don't think gems make for a good bed, parents.
How many?
30.
We did it. We defeated the gem monster encounter by navigating around it.
You discovered something cool. You get experience for it. Unless you guys do anything else here, do you head on?
Yeah, guess we go east once more.
Okay. Heading yet further east. Roll the reconnoiter.
Alrighty.
Looking here, and perhaps also trying to search for this trail of this passage, because you would have, you heard that they moved to this direction, the doppelganger. I want you to also to roll me a survival check, Giraffe.
Blind or no?
Yes, blind. Since you could be set upon a false trail if you critically fail. You, however, are not. Or at least you hope you're not. You are able to follow this meandering, very subtle trail through what is now the foothills of the Tors of Lebanese. These mountainous sort of environs that sort of make up your eastern border on your kingdom here. And up in the foothills of them, with the trees turning to pine trees sort of in their wake, with many streams coming down from the meltwater of the Tors, you are able to start to smell something first, actually. The smell of rot, the smell of decay, very much alike what you found in the hunting grounds with the waterfall. And following that scent, following a few small streams that also seem to carry that scent, you reach a cave entrance that seems to be brimming with these strange flora and fauna sort of spilling out from it. And a cavern yawns within, carrying that wafting scent and waters from inside out. You may have found a place. Well, what do you do from here?
Suppose we do.
Let's check it out.
We're going in.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific you do before going in, or are you doing it stealthily? What are you trying to do as you enter?
If we do it stealthily, we'll have to do it stealthily, so...
You know,
Make that
one
agreement,
person can do
but-
stealth, just scout ahead.
Charmos,
yeah.
thank you for volunteering.
Alright, I'll get the void notice.
Sure. Go right ahead.
Just blind sense roll, right?
Oh, I forgot to roll my hidden roll as a day pass there. Nope, okay. So, Yarmus. Going to the entrance to this cave here, you begin to hear voices sort of echoing down it. Not really echoing, but like they're near the entrance of it. It seems like there are guards at the entrance, and they speak in common. Nobody's ever going to find this place. I don't understand why our leader has us sitting here. You know why he asks us to sit here, brother. Namashtu wants us to succeed. And while we are not working on the project, on the plume, we must guard this place. We must be ever vigilant against invaders, against anything, anyone who could find us. But they don't seem to be finding you.
That's all they have to say? Seems like they lapse into a silence afterwards?
They continue as you sort of wait there. Roll me another stealth check, though.
Oh boy.
You're doing good. So, Daravan has guided us so far. We must trust every word of his directive. You've been to his sermons. Every toil day, we arrive at his sermons at midnight under the gaze of the stars. All of us together, all of us in one brotherhood. Yes, I know. I left my family behind for this. Your family never loved you. You told us the stories about how they didn't like that you were, well, of a hunchback. That they couldn't marry you off to any noble family, even though you are of their noble blood. It doesn't matter to them because you are, well, you are gifted by the Mashtu. And it's just small talk from there on.
Jermo says fair enough. He's going to squirrel back to the party with his findings. Both, the fact that we found the place and stories that they have to tell and the details about the seems like the ringleader.
You heard Daravan.
Was that the name of the
The guy, yeah.
Was that the doppelganger or
No,
something else?
that
No,
doesn't seem like that,
doppelganger
no.
was green something.
You never
I
got their
spied
name.
it in the treasure.
Well, I think we need to go in there and find out some more information the forceful way.
Seems like these people are coming to Lamashtu for legitimate reasons, but using that to inflict harm upon others is unacceptable.
Alright. As long as you guys got all the information there as well. Did you guys catch everything?
So they have like a
Caravan.
meeting spot that they do stuff in.
Yeah, there's a
the
meeting spot
sermons.
to the
A meeting
That-
time, they mentioned. It may have not crossed because you guys don't know the weekdays, but Toil Day is Monday.
I think there was like a monthly day, like those medieval times when they do everything by a monthly cycle.
Nah, yeah, that's why I mentioned it. Because, yeah, Toil Day is Monday for Galarian.
So tomorrow in character. Because it
Oh
looks
my
like
god, we
it's
have to use the
Sunday.
calendar feature.
Mm-hmm. You have a calendar, and I've been keeping track of the days. You're well into the fall months.
I know how that.
So if they're meeting here tomorrow,
Or actually, sorry, Tuesday is Toil Day.
Yeah, I think they're like cognates, the names of the days
Right,
compared
right,
to
right.
English.
Sorry, I was incorrect about Monday. It was more me looking at the calendar and expecting it to be normal, where it has Saturday at the end and it's Sunday at the beginning of a week, but it's not.
Oh, yeah.
So it is 2 days away at midnight. But that would mean it would be of the night of Monday, anyway. So you're actually kind of right.
so what should we do? Should we jump them?
I'm not sure.
Wait, were they saying this was the meeting spot?
They mentioned no spot.
But they are protecting this place in particular, so we could probably assume it's here. Unless it's not.
Or we can follow them from here if they're going somewhere else.
Mayhaps. Alright, thanks for the raid. Welcome, guys. We are literally at the end of the session, but hope you'll tune into next week, essentially. But yes, you guys have heard that this meeting of theirs, it seems like some sort of sermon where Daravan speaks, occurs a day or so from now. Otherwise, the entry is before you, so you have something to think about as we end the session here. How's that? Hope you guys had a good time.
I did.
It was wonderful.
Certainly have as always.
Questioning my character creation options.
Like good way or bad way?
Yes, because Giraffe does actually follow Lamashtu.
Well, Lamashtu is a deity that accepts chaotic neutral. Certainly does.
And there's like a lot of things in Giraffe that seems to have been really helpful today. Speaking Goblin, Lamashtu stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't speak Goblin.
Oh,
You speak Goblin. Yormus.
oh, so I was translating that as well. Right, there's like
You
part of
were-
the
They were
conversation
speaking
that
broken
seemed
common.
like
You were
Yeah.
always translating. It is always assumed that anybody who has a language is always translating for their eyes.
yeah, but there were some parts of the conversation that seems like it couldn't really flow if there was a translator, and I wasn't aware when they were talking common and when they were talking Goblin too.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if there's a saying, hey, you speak weird, that just means Goblin sort of like Goblin words are still very different. It's hard to translate them into
Yeah.
common. Like Longshank, they have a lot of different like sort of like conjugate words. Longshank, this, that, tomorrow food. So yeah, that's what I was saying. I wasn't saying that there was like something happening with
Gotcha.
that.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah. Hope everyone had a good time watching. As always, every map that you saw us play on today is on my Patreon, and I have over 100 maps in total at the moment, all the way up to level 9. Working on level 10 at the moment. That being said, thank you guys for watching, and Kiba.
Would love to. Hello there, I am Chris Kobold, the player of Kiba, and I am also a Twitch streamer. Just marked it in chat there, and I specialize on indie and retro games, although it's largely retro lately. Tend to go about 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time, and we're currently doing Battletoads. I took last week off due to health reasons, but should be back in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
This coming Tuesday. Hope to see you there.
Are you sure you want to hop into Battletoads right after coming off of health issues?
Yes. I mean, I've already gotten 2 days of it. I have 241 deaths. Yes, I'm keeping count.
Well, hey, here's to many more. More content.
For real, I'm having a blast.
So, yeah, see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.